Hey everybody, how's it going out there in Leafs land? Hey everybody, how's it going out there in Leafs land? Hey everybody. It's an exciting time. This draft is actually going to be pretty exciting. The top 10. It's going to be curious how the top 10 goes. There's a lot of talk around Matt Bay. He's going to be he's a player that's talked to a lot of players, so it's hey Quantum, what's going on, man? So it looks like the Leafs are going to be adding some toughness to their team. Brad Tree Living has been talking to teams, Minnesota, about Ryan Reeves. There's some talk about adding some toughness to this team. Is that something that's necessarily needed? I don't know, but I'm just excited for July to come around and the Leafs to sign Matthews and Nylander to their new contracts. What do you guys think about the Matthews and Nylander contracts? Oh, looks like we got a bad vote on the camp contract. Yeah, I don't know if I would have necessarily gone for 2.5 million on David Kemp, but I think the Leafs signing Kemp and Pontus Holmberg on the same day at the same time it kind of lets you know that Ryan O'Reilly is not coming back, and neither is Nola Chari, which is not good. I would have liked to see both those guys come back. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's listen. Being that we're in Toronto, and any sort of news you have regarding free agents or trades or rumors, it's clickbait. It makes people a lot of money in this city, and unfortunately, there's a lot of talk out there. But I'll tell you something right now: guys like Matthews and Nylander don't want to go anywhere. They want to be Toronto Maple Leafs uh, for a long time. They want to be Leafs for a very, very long time. So I personally think Matthews is gonna come in and around 12.5 to 13 million on 5 years, and Nylander is going to be 9 to 9.5 for 8 years. It, listen, don't laugh at the Eric Carlson rumors. The Eric Carlson rumors are real, and I'm all for it. If the Leafs are going to go for it, and if they're really going to go for it, they need a stud D man, and he just makes, it's something that we've been complaining. Us as Leafs fans have been complaining about this for years. Is when are we going to get a guy on the power play that has a shot, that has playmaking better than Marner, can make things really happen. And I think Eric Carlson at a retained salary, like if somebody gives you Eric Carlson or $7 or $8 million, considering how much you're paying Morgan Riley, I think Eric Carlson makes a ton of sense. And let's say they give you Eric Carlson at 8 million. If you trade T.J. Brody, Timothy Liljegren, Nick Robertson, and next year's first round pick, I think you may have to throw in another prospect, but that's enough to get Eric Carlson at 8 million. And Eric Carlson at 8 million, considering this guy can score 80 to 100 points, and just imagine that power play: Carlson, Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, Marner. Five of those guys on a number one power play, which pushes Riley down to the second power play, would be amazing. Riley on the second power play um, would make that power play so much better. And then if you have guys like Nyes there, you have guys like Yarncrook there, sky's the limit. I think the Leafs really need to take their power play to the next level. If the Leafs can get to where the Oilers are on their power play in the playoffs, it's a great deal. I think Eric Carlson would be a great addition. But I think Tree Living right here, soon as Calgary makes their first pick, he gets to join the table. And once he comes to the draft table, I'm pretty sure that the Leafs are going to move that 28th overall pick and probably get a second or third out of it or get 2 seconds out of it. I think the Leafs are going to draft as many times. They're going to try to draft as many times as they can in this draft. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Once I saw Kemp and Pontus Holmberg get signed today, that was pretty much the end of Nola Chari and Ryan O'Reilly, unless they can really um, pull off some cap gymnastics. Anything's possible at this point. But what do you guys think? See, personally, I've always been under the impression that Matthews is going to sign 3 5-year contracts in Toronto. He's going to sign from 21 to 26, 26 to 31, and from 31 to 36. That to me is the best way to stay with a moving cap that's going to increase, maximize your money, and be with the Leafs long term. I don't think he ever had any um, inclination to move away from Toronto. I think he just wants to max out his money, which is good for him. But hey, Joshua, what's up? Nicholas, what's going on? Quantum. Quantum is an OG TML domain contributor. I don't know if you guys know this, but looks like the draft is getting underway. Gary's coming out, guys. I don't hear no booing. Oh, there's a little bit of booing. A little bit of booing. I don't think they're gonna buy out Matt Murray. I think they are. I don't think. I don't think they expect Matt Murray to be available or healthy at all. So I think he just goes on LTIR. Why give up an asset like a first round pick to get rid of him? We the real OGs. Quantum. This city. Man, this guy is fishing for compliments right now. He's just looking. I gotta say something to make people cheer. Guys, who's excited about the All Star game being in Toronto next season? I gotta get tickets to that. I know it's gonna be more expensive than a playoff game for sure, but I gotta get my hands on some All Star tickets. The Leafs could possibly have 3 or 4, or yeah, 2 or 3 All Stars at that game. OG David Poyle.
the 38th overall pick in the 2008 draft and current captain of the Predators, Roman Josi.
Looks like David Boyle's getting some recognition today on his last draft.
And all-time late-round gem, the Preds' 8th-round pick.
Imagine in Toronto, a GM stuck around for 15 years and didn't win a Stanley Cup. Just imagine that. They brought him a guitar. Come on, man, that's kind of cliche.
Thank you. This guitar from Gibson. So thank you, Gibson. Just want to say thank you for everything you've done for the NHL, especially for Nashville.
Nashville's selling off. There's a couple of players on that team I'd like to get my hands on. Can you guys hear what he's saying? Smashville. You want me to turn it up for you guys?
May this year's draft class enjoy great success. Good luck to all the players and all the teams. Nashville, thank you for the greatest 26 years in my hockey career.
Who in the chat can watch this? Doesn't have the channel. Are you guys all watching this, or are you guys just watching it with me?
David, congratulations, and it's time to get to work. You can do better than that.
Oh, man.
The first pick in the 2023 NHL Draft belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks.
I wonder who they're going to pick, eh? Chicago, you're on the clock. Don't run up to the stage too quick.
But the big storyline, Connor Bedard. We're about to see the coronation of Connor Bedard, aren't we, Sam?
Yeah, the Connor Bedard draft and a chance for the Chicago Blackhawks and Kyle Davidson to get a reset on the organization. You can't think of a better player to do that.
Imagine if Chicago stands up there and they're like, Matvey Medvedchuk.
Elite player, but character beyond, this guy's just a character individual leader. He's going to take the franchise to where it goes, which is probably going to be Stanley Cups again down the road in Chicago.
And Chuck, what does this mean from a general manager's perspective when you can have this franchise guy sitting there waiting for you?
It's very, very difficult.
I don't know why they're still sitting there. I hate how they waste everyone's time. Just get up there and make the pick. We all know who you're picking. Come on.
In the last few days, no shortage of Blackhawks fans here in Nashville and fun.
I mean,
none may be more invested in
it's so dumb how they take the entire... They use the entire clock.
From Chicago? A couple times, yeah. For a Black. Yeah. How much would you say you know about hockey? Probably like I didn't play professionally or anything, so probably like a 4. Oh wow.
Listen, I don't think them taking anybody else is going to be worse than when the Edmonton Oilers took Nail Yakubov. Or when the Columbus Blue Jackets picked Patrick Laine.
That is tremendous. And there's Chicago ready to make the first pick in this year's draft.
Yeah, you shouldn't need more than 3 minutes. These guys know exactly who they're choosing. I don't know why they bother to waste everyone's time.
In Nashville.
Guys, If any other name other than Connor Bedard comes out of this guy's mouth, I might fall off my chair right now. Get a slap on the wrist for picking.
Blackhawks would first like to recognize the incredible career of David Boyle and congratulate him on his retirement. We'd also like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on their Stanley Cup championship. We'd like to say hi to all of the Blackhawks fans back in Chicago at the Salt Shed.
At the Salt Shed.
And all the Blackhawks fans watching around the world. And with the first overall selection in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select from the Regina Pats, the Western Hockey League.
Imagine. They would have screwed up like the Edmonton Oilers have. Who says it's a lock? Fantilli's number
And there
2.
it is. Parents Tom, Melanie, sister Maddie, and a very.
I'm at like 90% Fantilli's a lock at number 2.
He probably has time to exhale now.
That's so anticlimactic. But you know, what does greatness look like? Let me tell you, at 17-year-old, here's what greatness looks like. You start the year on a 27-game point streak. You take off to the World Juniors. You put up 23 points and set Canadian records. And most times players come back from that and they have the opportunity to rest, take a couple days off. This guy wanted no part of that. Regina Pats played on January 8th against Calgary at home. He got into that game. They won it 6-2. How many points did he have in that game? 6. Greatness follows greatness, follows greatness. And I think it will continue to be that way for Connor Bedard once he actually gets a chance to play an NHL game with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Some people are just made for the big stage, and that's exactly what this kid is prepared to do. He's just such a pleasure to be around. I haven't been around such a humble superstar in my entire career.
The St. Louis Blues are picking 10th overall.
Moment for Chicago. It's obviously important for the family. But Chuck, I mean, this is a historic pick.
No, I think Fantilli should be a lock at number 2, but we are talking about NHL scouts, and they're not the sharpest tools in the shed. I'll tell you that. You got it, Rubicon 81. Anytime, man. Every year I do the draft, so if you like to tune in, definitely tune in. I think I'm gonna do the trade deadline again. I'm gonna do the trade deadline this year. It's always fun discussing it with the fans. We got a couple 100,000 for the NBA draft a couple of years ago. I think we had over 200,000 viewers for that one. Throw out some names for the Leafs to take at number 28. I got a couple of names of my own.
It's the skill section. It's the shot, which is already great, but continues to work on. The playmaking and an added flair and twist to the playmaking this year. There are so many things they can do, JB, but what are you focusing on here?
Well, obviously the release is exceptional. There's no question about it. What you don't see in some of these clips is how he transports the puck through the neutral zone. He's not a burner, guys. Like, this guy isn't got like Adam Fantilli type breakaway speed, but his leverage is exceptional. His lower half and his core is very strong. He's picking apart Team Slovakia here. I mean, that's just a special big moment at the World Juniors. We were there, Sammy. Massive. Oh, look at this.
EA Sports doesn't rest on anything. They got it out pretty quickly. 98 in Chicago on the signature move on his knee and the great shot. They're all over it already. That was quick. Let's get you back down. Connor Bedard, officially now a member of the Chicago Blackhawks. He's standing by with our Carolina camp.
Connor, congratulations. We've waited years for this. For you, it's been the work of a lifetime. How does the moment live up to the dream?
Oh man, this is incredible. Just being here with my family, like I said, it's like it's a dream come true.
A tall goalie.
Chicago,
That's not a bad draft pick.
I can't wait to get to work.
Yeah, you grew up a Canucks fan at a time in Chicago.
Absolutely.
It was
Big
one of your
W to
biggest
Connor
times. How does
Bedard.
it feel to be
Congratulations to this guy. He's going to have an amazing NHL career, and he's got a tall task. Resurrecting that team in Chicago is going to be a tall task. They don't have a lot of talent.
Growing up and watching it, the players that played there, it's remarkable. So I couldn't be happier.
How much do you know about Chicago, the city?
Just that they love their sports, really. They've had a lot
Yeah,
of,
whether the Hawks should have had a first round pick this year is up for debate. It's a lot of people are talking about it.
You'll be getting there.
With everything that happened in Chicago,
Thank you so much.
David?
yeah.
Well, that smile says it all. Such a humble young man. Jeff Bedard, what do you want to add?
There's a few things. Had a chance to talk to Ron Robinson over the weekend. He's the commissioner of the Western Hockey League of Bedard, and he said, "Look, we've never seen anything like this in the Western League." And Bedard goes into this pantheon of great Western Hockey League players like Brian Trottier and Joe Sakic.
Hey, listen, man. When it comes to saving image or an image or franchise's image in general, winning solves everything. Right? Look at the Florida Panthers. Haven't won anything. Haven't made the playoffs at all that much in the last 20 years. They haven't won too many. They haven't won any playoff rounds other than last year and this year. And really, when it comes down to it, you win a couple of rounds, and all of a sudden, everybody starts looking at you different.
I'll tell you what. I hope you had a chance to enjoy him at junior hockey prices, David, because those days are over.
All right, again, exceptional players who've gone first overall. It's a pretty good list right there. Tavares, Ekblad, of course, the other Connor 8 years ago, and now Connor Bedard. Big shoes to fill, but this young man seems so poised and ready to do it. We'll have much more with Connor Bedard. We'll have him on our set a little bit later, but officially he is the first overall pick. Let's move to the second overall pick, and that's the Anaheim Ducks. So many good options. You said this is a top-heavy draft when it comes to forwards, especially centers. Give us sort of the lay of the land. Let's start with you, Sam.
Well, you're looking at two guys in particular here. Adam Fantilli is the Hobey Baker Award winner this year at the University of Michigan, and you're looking at Leo Carlson, who was unbelievable playing in the SHL, a really difficult league, was able to play there all season long, pretty good in the playoffs too. But both guys are big centers and probably in the tier of their own when you consider some of the other forwards in this draft class a little bit more towards that average size, 6 foot or just under, 170 pounds or just over. Now we're thinking about size in one of two centers here.
All right, meanwhile, Kyle Davidson all smiles after that pick of Connor Bedard. He's with our Elliot Friedman.
Kyle, congratulations. Tell us one thing you learned about Connor Bedard that you didn't realize through this process.
Extremely humble. I think you saw how he handled the lead up to the draft, and everyone was telling him he was going to be number one. I'm sure he knew he was going to be number one, but the way he handled it with such class was unbelievable.
Only a 4? You only gave yourself a 4?
My two picks for the Leafs at 28th overall would be Edward Solid, who is who I believe is a Czech player. Czech player from the Czech Republic. He's left wing. He's big. He's 6'2". And then there's also another player. His name is Danny Nelson, who's a center who plays for USA under 18.
Even last year, with all due respect, I think the pick's going to be made here, guys. So I'll just hold on for a second.
All right, we'll get you.
Probably an hour.
Okay, because D&D are coming back. Once I'm done my hair, you should message me when you're done.
Here. It's a
We
lot.
would like to welcome all our fans watching at our draft party at Burger X.
Did the Leafs go?
The Leafs picked 28th overall.
What are they at now?
Orbo,
They're at number 2 right now.
SHL, Leo Carlson.
Did they choose Bedard?
Oh my God! They didn't pick Fantilli. What did I tell you guys? They didn't pick Fantilli. Oh my God! Did you hear the moans and groans inside that stadium?
Did they pick the Chicago pick?
Yeah, they Connor Bedard. Yeah.
Those are pretty good comparisons.
What? We got a mind-blowing pick at 2nd overall. I told you this draft in the top 10 was going to be ridiculous this year.
Maybe even 25 pounds heavier.
What
to his year in the
What?
NHL, 25 points in 44 games, had 9 more points in the playoffs. All right, that's really good stuff, right? He's playing.
They picked Carlson? Come on, man.
The men's world. What's he going to be? Plays back on the wing. It's a national team that's really good. No, I don't think so. This guy's going to set
Leo Carlson.
and did so very successfully at the men's world.
Wow, Leo Carlson second. Who passes on Adam Fantilli? What are the Anaheim Ducks even doing? They're just like, we're just going to suck forever. The Anaheim Ducks, they're just going to suck. Suck for a long time. Oh my God. No way, bro. What is going on right now? Everyone's going crazy. Wow. Leo Carlson, second overall.
Chuck, what are those debates like? 'Cause a lot of us expected maybe Adam Fantilli here. I'm sure there was some
Bedard, I think, is 5'8" or 5'9".
It'd be a tough debate. You probably have guys on both sides. People appreciate Fantilli's speed, his aggressiveness. This kid has great hockey sense and great vision. But either way, you're getting a big centerman that you can build your team around. And you look at the group of prospects.
Guys, somebody needs to make sure Nicholas is okay because he's having an hemorrhage in his brain right now. Listen, I don't think anybody expected this. I said 90% because I wasn't 100% either because the Anaheim Ducks are a disaster of an organization. But holy smokes, I can't believe we got fireworks this early. The Columbus Blue Jackets. What are the chances the Columbus Blue Jackets get Adam Fantilli?
Moving as fast as he is, he's really long. So when he gets half ball, that's what I'm talking about.
Leo Carlson. Wow.
This one here, this is all Austin Matthews. Cycle up high. Kind of get lost in get coverage there by Team USA.
You're right, Quantum. Leafs are like, we're trading up. We need Adam Fantilli.
Spatial awareness, break wide vision. It's real important.
And this is what he's going to look like in an Anaheim Duck uniform. Pretty amazing stuff. The old Carlson
This is insane.
From Sweden.
I wasn't 100% on Fantilli at second overall, but I honestly did not expect fireworks this early, guys.
He left Stockholm, Sweden at 6 a.m. local time, flew to Newark, New Jersey. Their connecting flight here.
I don't know, man. The Jackets are making moves. I think the Jackets just need a goaltender. They got a couple of defensemen. They got Goudreau lining. They got Roslovic. They got some good players. I think they just need a goaltender.
They say the journey to the NHL is not an easy one, but adrenaline carrying them through now as the second pick to the Anaheim Ducks.
No, I don't think Matvei Michkov is gonna go in the top 5. I honestly don't believe he's gonna be in the top 5. I think the hype was a little too much around this guy, and it's not warranted.
To feel, I know hard to put into words.
It feels unreal. I know what to say right now. If I have so many first now.
You had a lot of interviews. Did you have a feeling that Anaheim was interested?
Yeah, I mean, I had two interviews. One at Scrum and one yesterday. So they feel very good. Has a good plan for me. So yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, so now
Pierre-Luc Dubois to the Kings was such a huge overpayment, but I think part of the reason why the Kings paid so much for Pierre-Luc Dubois is they had to open up cap space for him too. So and they had to open up cap space to sign him to an extension, and then they had to open up enough cap space to sign a goalie as well because they don't have one. So they overpaid a little bit. But I don't want Pierre-Luc Dubois on my team ever. I don't care what team it is. The guy is always looking for trouble. He always finds trouble. He's a big pouty baby. Yeah, but looking at LA's centers, Kopitar, Pierre-Luc Dubois, and Danault, and then they still have Adrian Kempe. Ooh. That's one hell of a team, but they need to find a goaltender or all this is for nothing. LA is a powerhouse. They can still have Drew Doughty. They still have some good defensemen, but they need a goalie. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
you, Nashville. We appreciate the great time you've shown us all. Congratulations, Vegas. To a hockey lifer and a good friend, David Boyle, again, congratulations. Good man. Our fans back in Columbus, they're called the Fifth Line. They are at Pins in Easton. Have a party, gang. We appreciate y'all. To make our pick, I'd like to invite our general manager, Jarmo Kekalainen.
Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select from University of Michigan.
And there you have it. The Columbus Blue Jackets do know what they're doing after all. Well, the Jets actually got some pretty good pieces.
He has 115 friends and
The players they got from LA are good players, better than the ones that everything they got from LA is better than Scheifele, is better than Wheeler, and is better than Pierre-Luc Dubois. Those guys are pure trouble, baby, just a lot of pouting. Damn, Adam. See, this is what the Columbus Blue Jackets are gonna get good. They're gonna get good. The East is gonna be crazy in a couple of years. Holy smokes! New Jersey is really good. Columbus is on the way up. Ottawa, if they can get some goaltending, they can be good. The Bruins, Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers. Hockey's going to get crazy in the next couple of years. With the cap going up, everyone's going to get good.
Really happy that Fantilli was just waiting there after Carlson was taken. This is going to be interesting for me, guys. Columbus is in win now mode with some of the moves they made here in recent weeks, right? And
100%. The main issue in Winnipeg was the locker room. Once they took the captaincy away from Wheeler, he lost all credibility. What was he going to do? How is he going to tell you to do something when the guy lost the captaincy?
You have to always factor that in when you're a GM. What is the timeline you're working?
No, absolutely. But I know Jarmo, in this case, he's been seeking a center like this.
Hobie Baker winner Adam Fantilli.
I was traded to Winnipeg, so how quickly Fantilli can help their team, we'll see.
I mean, he's not as good as Matthew Nyes, but he's okay.
Yeah, now listen, they missed the playoffs for a third straight year, but 570 man games lost was the most in the NHL.
How tall is he? 6'2", 6'3"? 6'2". 6'2", 195, Adam Fantilli.
Fantilli is one of those guys who impressed me so much with his ability to adapt. And JB, you touched on it. You come from the University of Michigan. You're playing center ice. You're the leading scorer. Now you have to go.
Yeah, imagine if the Leafs got Hellebuck. Holy smoke. But I personally, I'm okay with Samsonov and Joseph Woll. Woll's got a future in the NHL for sure. And Samsonov, in that series deciding game against Tampa Bay, put up some sick stats. 936 save percentage. Oh, come on, Chris. This is the NHL Draft. We're going to be positive. The kids, this is nothing but hope and upside day. Adam Fantilli is going to be a star. I personally, if I was the Columbus Blue Jackets and I'm not going to be that good this year, maybe I don't burn a year of his entry-level contract. That would make sense.
For the family and the dad. I'd be doing the same thing for sure.
We ran into the family last night, and they were very emotional last night. His mother actually said,
Nicholas, you're right. You know he's good when the Columbus Blue Jackets don't pick a European. Okay, who's going third? Will Smith?
Thanks very much. Well, Adam, we saw your parents tearing up there. You have over 100 friends and
Will Smith, Matvichuk, Reinbacher.
I'm thinking about everybody that took time to come out here and spend the money.
You live in North Bay, you're being selfish, eh? Hey.
I appreciate it so much.
I wish I was close enough to go see the kid too.
And to be here with my brother and my parents there. They've been with me through everything, so I'm so excited to be here with them.
Would a little kid growing up in Nobleton, Ontario ever think that this would happen?
Nobleton, Ontario.
I don't don't think so. It's pretty surreal.
You've
gonna be a
accomplished
Maple
almost
Leaf.
everything you can in college hockey. You think you'll return to Michigan, or are you NHL ready?
Okay, everybody in the chat, put in your picks for number 3.
See what the best fit would be, but Columbus is a great spot. This year.
Oh no, not number 3, number 4, number 4.
It's a great spot. So
Who's number 4?
Well, congratulations and have fun tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Carol and David mentioned the.
I'm gonna go with Will Smith.
Over 100 people in the house for Adam Fantilli tonight, and he was talking about how much they all mean to him. He comes from a big Italian family. He also extended the invite to all of his coaches over the years: the Toronto Junior Canadiens, Chicago Steel, USHL, University of Michigan.
Oh,
as well.
Quantum's
Invited
going
all
with
four teammates.
Michkov.
He's not sure if he's going to be on the hook for all.
Chris is saying it's Will Smith.
Putting the bill here now as the third overall pick.
Big Willie Styles, all with it.
How do you go from Go Blue to
Gotta get jiggy with it.
hard transition. Let's see what happens.
Will Smith.
For him, but that's 3 picks, 3 centers, and Carlin's right. He did accomplish everything. Gold world champion.
The San Jose Sharks are on the board.
And now a member of the Columbus Blue Jackets. I can tell you, the San Jose Sharks and Mike Greer are now on the clock and heading towards the stage as well. 3 centers. Are we going to go 4 in a row, or is that the anticipation, gentlemen?
I'd have to think so. I mean, Will Smith is the guy who would be the next best
Will
player
Smith.
available, but also fits that center need. And you have to think that this run of centers.
You gotta pick the center, man. You gotta pick the center. You're not gonna pick a 5'10" right winger in Michkov when you're trying to build a franchise. You need to pick the center.
All right, well, let's get to the podium, and we see Mike Greer leading the San Jose contingent against San Jose. They've missed the playoffs the last 4 years, in desperate need of some goal scoring.
This is going to be very interesting.
Themselves here was Mike Greer was hired before last.
It's all wild, wild west, guys. It's all wild, wild west right now.
Thank you, Nashville. You guys have been a great host. We've really enjoyed our time here. Congratulations to David Boyle.
Name one person who thought this guy was going to be an NHL GM one day.
My first year.
Nobody.
Also like to congratulate Vegas, Golden Knights in the Cup win. George McPhee and Kelly McCrimmon.
Boo,
And like to
Las
say hello,
Vegas.
Thank you to our fans watching around the world. And at the SA
San Jose.
Center tonight.
Our fans all around the world. There's
To
no
make
fans.
our pick is Sharks legend, NHL all-time games played leader, Patrick Marleau.
Patrick Marleau.
With the first selection overall, the San Jose Sharks are proud to select Will Smith from the
Will Smith.
And there it is, the first American selected. In fact, it's the 5th straight year someone from the U.S. National Team Development Program has been selected in the top 5. They're doing
Good.
a great job of getting people into the NHL in the latest edition.
Let's see.
Will Smith. He was ranked 17th. way back
Guard's
in
gone.
October.
Fantilli's gone. Will Smith is gone. Leo Carlson is gone.
In amateur hockey, along with teammates Ryan Leonard and Gabe Perreault. He was the driving force behind that line, down the middle of the ice. This guy plays with such speed and such passion. He's a dual threat guy. He can shoot it from distance. He can.
Montreal Canadiens are up next.
Distribution ability. And has the kind
Who's
of
going at number 5?
He's not afraid to try and mostly execute.
I'll tell you something right now. If I'm the Montreal Canadiens, there's no way I'm picking Michkov because Yuri Slavkovsky turned into a disaster. He could be a bust.
Right, for a forward. So give credit for jumping outside of the box a little bit there. But Will Smith, a fantastic year all the way around. His 51 goals, 127 points through mixed competition against the USHL, against college, internationally, against the toughest teams in the world, at the under teams, the 5 nations, all through the time putting up 127 points. Impressive stuff from Will Smith. Well said, Sammy. I don't know if
Reinbacher or Michkov, eh?
all offense from this kid, okay? He's a motion player. What I mean by that is he doesn't stop on the plate often enough.
Yeah, I could see Montreal going with the big right-handed defenseman. That would make sense for them. I don't recall them having any. I don't think they have any major defensive prospects.
He's going to have to be more engaged, just more engaged. All I need him to do is be average defensively because the skill set is elite.
Listen, if there's anyone that's going to drop in this draft, it's going to be Michkov.
the opportunity to cheat the game a little bit because you have that great chemistry. With that
Montreal Canadiens, I think it's either going to be Reinbacher or
but you're still going to have to break that habit as he matures.
Dalibor
Again,
Dvorsky.
overall, you guys just mentioned these
My pick
numbers,
for
right?
the Montreal
Almost
Canadiens.
Not just a 50 goal score, but you put up 127 points.
Reinbacher or Dvorsky.
Playmakers. That's a fair assessment.
It's absolutely 100% accurate. And I don't want to double down on getting ahead of the play, but you're seeing these clips. See how far ahead of the play he is when he gets the puck. But hey, listen, when he gets it,
Man, I wish I spoke Swedish.
he's a no-doubter, okay? He
I think
is,
that's Swedish
just
in the
an
chat.
elite player. Taking some
Hey man,
pictures
I wish
here.
I wish I could converse, but I don't know what you're talking about. Or is that Russian?
Greer, who actually had the inside word, because that's my career.
Isaac, Michkov or nothing. Really? Are you a Habs fan? Hey, by the way, whatever fan of whatever team that you are, put it in the chat. Let's see how many different fan bases are showed up. We got what, 69 people watching? I'd love to see how many different fan bases are being represented here tonight.
A few years back, played some games in Nashville this year, but
I'm a
also
diehard
Bill
Leafs fan.
Smith, the Boston area guy.
It just is what it is, man.
Inside knowledge and you've grown up. You feel
Thomas
confident.
Habs,
All right, 4 picks, 4
Rubicon,
seconds.
Blues and
Alex
Pens,
Joins the lead company, most career points on the U.S. national team. Only
Luke,
Jack Hughes,
Leafs,
the greater,
Isaac,
years than Marcel. All right, let's
Habs,
spin forward, because pick number 5's on deck. Less than 2 minutes away for the Montreal
Trollish,
Canadiens. 4 great
Leafs,
centers have already been taken. What do you guys anticipate? from
Leroy,
Canadiens? By the way,
Flyers, Sens, Columbus Blue Jackets. Wow, we got a lot of different people in here. I hope you guys like whoever your team picks. Good luck to everybody tonight. Detroit.
Hughes is sitting there, Bort's got the game face on, and they're saying, all right, we know what we're going to do here, but we're just going to take our time. And
Nicholas Habs. Hey man,
I have to think that there's, we're gonna
this is a safe place for everybody. We're just here to talk hockey. There's no hate. We're here to have a good time. TML domain is not a place where we hate on each other. We're all here. We're a huge hockey community.
This right here is the wild card. So are we going to be looking at a Michkov, a defenseman? Not sure. Time will tell here, but this pick here.
Montreal Canadiens, man, this is going to be. I'm so nervous for this pick. Native to St. Louis, now living in Pennsylvania.
Like a weight lifted off your shoulders when you heard your name. How did it feel?
Unbelievable. I mean, it's surreal and good to do with my family. It's unbelievable.
And we saw you embracing your U.S. teammates, including your line mates and Gabe Perreault and Ryan Leonard. What does it mean to share this night with them?
Born and raised in Toronto.
I wouldn't be here without them.
This
They're,
is what it is.
Two of the best players in this draft, and I mean, I love those guys. And I mean, Morrissey's the best too. So I just love hanging out.
Nobody makes me more nervous than the Montreal Canadiens when they're about to draft.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah, that's right. The Montreal Canadiens just did the New Hook trade. I think they were going for Pierre-Luc Dubois, but when that didn't work out, they shifted quickly.
Overall this year, they are picking 5th overall. And again, they've been busy. Alex Newhook, of course, was picked up from Colorado for a 1st and a 2nd round pick. Let's hear what the Montreal Canadiens are going to do.
Dvorsky, Reinbacher, my picks.
I'd like to start by congratulating the Vegas Golden Knights. Also like to wish David Boyle all the best in retirement.
This is a 110-inch theater screen, by the way.
On apprécie votre passion. To make our selection, I will invite up our former 5th overall in 2005, Carey Price.
Carey Price!
Bonsoir. The Canadiens of Montreal are proud to select David.
Wow, they did go with Reinbacher.
We planned it that way. David Reinbacher.
Told you it's not going to be Michkov. Reinbacher or Dvorsky?
And yes, the draft does start now. That's the first defenseman, and he's Austrian. If you haven't heard much about him, 6'2", 100.
Yeah, I think getting Pierre-Luc Dubois in Montreal, you would have probably wasted the first 2 years of his contract, not really being a contender. So
Congratulations. And a nice moment.
no, man, Reinbacher is a good defenseman. He's big. He's right-handed. Very hard to find big right-handed defensemen that are good. I know. I'm a Leafs fan. But we're going to try to hold on to Luke Schenn. We're going to hold on to Luke Schenn. Yeah, Dvorsky, I don't know if he's going to fall that much, but he's a good player. Looking at my mock. I don't know, man. I got Michkov outside of the top 10.
So there it is, David Reinbacher, the first defenseman taken. A little overwhelmed.
Yeah, there should be a Michkov cam right here at the corner of the screen.
Why should he be overall? He was playing in a pro.
Look at the size of this kid. Holy smokes.
Think about the defensemen. On a lot of nights last year, they dressed 5 rookie defensemen. Jack Guy, Harris.
He's taller than everybody on the stage. Unreal, these kids.
Position, you're thinking, all right, we're taking the best player available because you feel pretty strongly about what they have coming through the pipeline. But when you have a player who's played the pro league all year, who's been successful in every
I don't think I. When's the last time you saw a Swiss player that big? I can't think of any.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised. I got to be honest with you because I really do feel like they've got a lot of skill up front in Montreal, but what they don't really have is a bulldog. I don't want to take anything away from Reinbacher, but that's what I mean by things being.
Reinbacher is Swiss.
Highly touted right shot.
Switzerland.
Yeah,
okay, well, you say you're surprised who you've taken at 5.
I would have taken Ryan Leonard here. I would have taken Ryan Leonard in this slot, but I don't want to take away the moment from the kid here because this kid was an exceptional interview and he's a high-end talent. What do you think, Chuck?
Yeah, Chuck, what goes into this? Because you take a team and was it a position pick?
Well, I just know historically, you get the center iceman, you get the right shot D. Those are premium picks. They're hard to get. I mean, Reinbacher, sprinted up the charts as the year went on.
Yeah, man.
He can defend.
This kid wasn't supposed to go in the top 10. But good for him, man. Good for him. Always love it when kids take their draft year serious and they start moving up the charts.
Here he is, gapping up. It's when you're a big right shot guy.
Never hurts to draft good talent, man. Never hurts to draft good talent.
Eliminating the play below the goal line, corralling the puck, making an outlet. I mean, smarts, length, physicality, offense. He's got it all, guys.
Yeah, the 5th Austrian taken in the top 10 ever in the NHL draft.
Real smart defenseman.
Yeah, really quick, interesting note.
Real
You guys
smart
touched on the
defenseman.
right shot D phenomenon. You know, going into this draft, you have a look at some of the prospects here, specifically Lane Hudson on the blue line. Montreal has plenty of left shot defensemen. So they went into this draft thinking a couple of different things. One, to Chuck Fletcher's point a moment ago, you look for centers.
That's true.
Still an organization.
Got a lot of lefties. Got to go for a righty.
Specifically, they targeted right shot D.
Let's see. So, Reinbacher is off. Next up is the Phoenix Coyotes. Oh, man. What are the Phoenix Coyotes going to do?
Arizona Coyotes. Ken Hughes gets his right shot D.
There it is. And listen, he has.
I don't know about the Phoenix Coyotes, man. They're definitely not going to pick Michkov. Definitely not picking Michkov.
Number 1 pick from for an Austrian, tying Thomas Vanek 20 years ago.
Maybe Ryan Leonard.
Overall as well. So we're waiting to hear David Reinbacher. I felt bad for Kerry Price there because it's an announcer. We mess up. You know, we've got to get confused on the names a lot.
It is so embarrassing to the NHL that the Arizona Coyotes are playing out of that University Stadium. It's so gross. Imagine the Leafs go and spend $100 million on their roster and they got to fly to Arizona and play in that 4,000 Marlies Arena. It's so gross.
The situation for Montreal to stay where they were, collect a guy that they can add to the pipeline. Now, when you think
the guy I got my eye on, another right-handed defenseman that's really good, is Wallander. I believe his name is Tom Wallander.
Your first jersey as a kid was Thomas Vanek, and that's
6'2",
inspired. We have a
Swedish
special-
right-hander. Kid's gonna be good.
Congratulations on being drafted in the first round. It's always special and great to see a fellow Austrian being selected that high. Good job. All the best.
Thomas Vanek.
What do you think of that?
Wow, incredible! I can't believe it. It's so amazing to see my first jersey guy, and he's like the idol in Austria in hockey. So I guess everyone was looking up to him, and it's incredible to see.
That was a blast from the past, eh? Thomas Vanek.
So what's fascinating too is not only are you playing professional hockey in Switzerland, but you also have a job as a headhunter.
Yeah.
Do you think now's the time to resign?
No, I gotta do school one more year, so the job is also one more year, so I do it. It's kind of part of my job. I like it. It's something different to hockey.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This guy's a headhunter outside of hockey.
On the clock, and they look just about ready to make their pick. In fact, you heard Jeff say they have the 6th pick. They also have the 12th pick, which they
It's
got.
been a while since any of us have thought about Thomas Vanek.
Armstrong will be a busy man over the next 45 minutes or so. Let's send you down to the stage and the Arizona Coyotes with their pick.
Ryan Leonard.
On behalf of the Arizona Coyotes, we'd like to congratulate the Vegas Knights on winning the Stanley Cup.
Vegas
We'd
Knights.
also like to thank
Not even
the
Vegas
Nashville
Golden
Predators
Knights.
and their amazing fans for hosting us this week. And to all of our fans in Arizona at Wasted Grain in Scottsdale, go Yotes. And to make our selection, I'd like to invite Ryan Janikowski.
Why are they all wearing the same suit on
The
stage?
Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from Lokomotiv Yaroslavo Dmitry Simachev.
Dmitry Simachev, gentlemen, a little bit off the board with a lot of different names being thrown out there. This wasn't the name many of us anticipated. What do you make of this pick? Start with you, Sam.
The first 2005 born player to play in the
I had Simachev in the 20s.
but he showed that he belonged. You go back to his time in the NHL,
Unreal.
tough league to play in.
So Simachev was, based on all the different mock drafts that I've looked at, he's anywhere from 20 to 28.
That becomes popular all of a sudden because teams want to copy.
He just
I think about their forward group.
he just went 6th overall.
I think they're well stocked there, but defense is something they had to address.
He's a
Ryan
6'4" left-handed defenseman.
They keep the pick. A little bit of a jump for me on Simachev, but again, this is a team that can afford the time to wait for a player to come over. Those 18 KHL games, really impressive for Simachev.
Just the 7th Russian D-man.
I have no idea what's going on in Arizona, man.
Raised the eyebrows certainly on this
Hey.
side. Jason, your eyebrows were raised pretty high. What's going on?
Hey.
He's not the best player available, guys. And I have no disrespect to the player. This is a lead for me. I'm talking about a guy.
1,000%. They talked to a bunch of guys, and one guy was like, "Yeah, sure, Arizona sounds good," and then they got drafted 6th overall.
Strategize the whole thing a little bit differently. That's the bottom line.
Chuck, what do you think happened here?
The team's gonna suck forever, man. Team is gonna suck forever.
Much later.
Well, they obviously felt that Simachev wouldn't fall that far. I mean, we don't know, but I don't think any of us thought you'd be the first Russian taken today. Let's put it that way.
So, Chuck, when you're in that situation, how much is your staff out there trying to figure out what the teams are doing ahead of you when you get to
The Yotes have another pick at 12. They could have just picked him then.
Know what's information and what's misinformation. So there's a lot of people willing
Come
to
on,
talk, but
Phoenix.
you always want to try to
Wake
find out
the
what
hell
teams are
up,
doing.
man.
But again, it's a
They
big
have
example
another
here
pick
for
at 12. This guy
Switzerland.
was rated to go in the
We
20s.
all thought Michkov might be the first Russian player drafted, and he's still there. So this is fun starts now.
So it is possible that guys are throwing up smoke screens to try and deke you out for what?
Nobody is trying harder than the Phoenix Coyotes to suck.
So I just want to pipe in real quickly here, guys.
This first round, I knew this top 10 was going to be full of fireworks, but I didn't. This is weird, man. This is weird.
Their rights are going to be maintained for 3, possibly 4 years before they can come to the NHL. So it's a little bit of a different run in terms of managing how your prospects are arriving in the league.
All right, so some unpredictability is marking this draft after what we expected off the top with those 4 centers going 1 through 4. We're going to get you back here to Nashville. The Philadelphia Flyers are officially on the clock. Then Washington, Detroit, Vancouver's coming up as well. So keep it locked here. It's the draft in Nashville.
Philadelphia cannot afford to screw up this pick. They're starting a retool, and they need legitimate prospects. They can't mess around like the way the Phoenix Coyotes do at the draft. The Coyotes, they're busting up mock drafts, man. What the hell is going on? I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I might have to go get my Matthews stick and start waving it around.
What you know and need to know. Closer to all the games all the time. Download the NHL app today.
Now that we're in commercial, let's talk about name like a piece of merchandise that you have that is like your favorite piece of merchandise. Me, I have, you guys can't see around my basement, but I have a lot of signed jerseys, pucks. I have a Matthews stick he used to score 60 goals. I have Yarncrook stick. I have Matthews gloves. I have Marner's gloves. Name a piece of merch that you have that is your favorite. The Phoenix Coyotes just get a participation medal. They show up to the draft. Bettman gives them all a medal and says, "Thanks for showing up, guys. You did a great job." Not about who you picked. It's the matter that we all had fun.
Experience it live at the track. Visit OntarioRacing.com.
Collect pucks. I actually have one thing that I like a lot is I have the 20,000th goal ever scored by a Toronto Maple Leaf. It's a goal by James Van Riemsdyk, and he signed it, and it says 20,000th goal in TML history. I have that, and I have 2 signed Matthew Nyes pucks from his draft at the draft. When he was picked, signed 2 pucks. I got him.
Before anyone would have anticipated. For Daniel Briere, this will be his first selection, of course, just named very recently. And again, the Flyers.
Andre Markov, man, talk about a name that is a blast from the past. Andre Markov, good hockey player.
I think the pick is probably in here, so I'll have something to say after this, I'm sure.
We got nothing but 5 hours in this show. Yeah, we got plenty of time. Daniel Briere is on the podium.
All right. Philadelphia Flyers. Ryan Leonard.
The pick here, 26th in the NHL. Let's see what they do.
The Philadelphia Flyers would like to thank the city of Nashville for their outstanding hospitality. We've had a very good time. It's going to get more fun.
Nate Danielson or Ryan Leonard?
He was my general manager with the Washington Capitals. Drafted me in 1988 in the 7th round. He got a lot better after that pick.
With the seventh selection of the draft, Flyers are proud to select from St. Petersburg in the KHL, Matvei Michkov.
Matvei Michkov!
So that's one of the big storylines as we enter this draft. How far would Matvei Michkov slide? Again, he was right there with Connor Bedard as far as the rankings were concerned a year ago. We all understand the geopolitical situation. We all understand the KHL contract situation.
Good old Mitchie got selected.
For a number of years. But ultimately, the Flyers say, we'll bear those risks and we'll take them at 7.
The Flyers have another pick at 22. You're looking right behind you in the rear of your mirror. You're seeing the Washington Capitals, who many people thought would be a destination for Mitchell.
He is nothing but trouble.
The queue a little bit here, and they go and get
the problem with the Philadelphia Flyers is they just got rid of Ivan Provorov, another Russian with issues, and they jumped into that pond again.
You want to see the guy. You want to shake his hand. Look him in the eye. You want to know some of those things about the character of this player. You have to also be extremely confident in your scouting staff. That was mostly done on video, that you're happy with what you see. I will say this.
Why does he walk like that?
Where he scored 12 goals and won the MVP,
That was a pretty good sales pitch for me, but we're a couple of years removed from that. There are no doubt is some risk with this pick.
Well, for me, guys, he's the best player available on the list. That's just the bottom line. Let's just start from there. I don't have any issues with the timeline of Russian prospects coming to play in North America. I don't. If it's going to take 3 years and he's going to, at the end of that contract come over, I'm fine with that, Chuck. But when I presented to you as my general manager, we have to look him in the eyes today because I'm telling you he's the best player. But we, meaning you, mostly have to be very comfortable looking at him and saying, yeah, I believe he can be a flyer down the road.
Oh, absolutely. And this guy's the second best player in the draft in terms of talent. And look, I have a little bit of information from that franchise, but there's no question the Flyers have been looking for top-end talent for a long time. And this is the guy. It takes 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Whether you get him at 22 or 23, he's a very good hockey player. And again, second best player arguably in the draft. You get him at 7. To me, it makes sense.
That made Michkov.
From 2018 to 2023.
7th overall. I can't believe he fell that much. To be honest with you, I didn't think.
Something you guys talked about a lot.
I don't know, man.
I can't say where he was.
But I think the Flyers are going to suck for a couple of years. That's why they picked this guy. He's not going to come over and play anytime soon.
And they're getting a skilled and talented player, Jason. No debating that.
We're going to see some fantastic highlights. This is becoming commonplace. The Michigan goal. There he is. The lead hands. Some of the other things you're going to notice with the guy here, though, he's compact. He stays with it. Staying with the play is very important, especially if you're a little bit undersized. He's built like a fire hydrant, though, guys, so he's sturdy as well. He wants to score. He wants to produce.
He's built like a brick shithouse.
It's going to be from the hash. It's going to be in high danger areas. That's what's key to me. Skilled guys who go to the hard areas to produce offense. It's hard to score on NHL goalies from the flank. You got to get to the hard area. The kid does it. He's got an elite release.
Oh, they're not coming because they already gave him the.
His numbers are unbelievable, eye-popping, quite similar to Connor Bedard. Let's send it to the floor with Kyle.
Yeah, Dave, thank you very much. Alongside Max Muller,
No, because they're going to come over here and they're going to run around. They're going to get.
Philadelphia could be one to step up and make.
We
had a good meeting with Philadelphia.
How about those pizzas?
I'm not saying name this call. We're hoping, but
Well, you can make that as well. As long as it's not one of those Italian pizzas.
Tell us about the kid. What's he like?
He's very motivated. He loves hockey with all his soul. But with his family and friends, he's a really funny guy. It's all about spending time with his friends.
No, he was Michkov is definitely a top 10 pick. I'm just surprised it was the Flyers that picked him. But the Flyers are retooling for the next couple of years. They're not going to be good for 2 or 3 years, and I think by the time this guy comes over, they're going to be ready to start moving up the standings.
Too much. The manager will see the player a couple of different times. The scout will see the
Yeah,
player
Washington 100% would have picked him. 100%.
But when it comes to Daniel Briere, the past year and a half, that's been one of his responsibilities. He's been all over North America and Europe scouting, watching all of these players. Was on a scouting
Washington
trip.
or Detroit would have picked Michkov for sure. Eisenman is not fazed by these kinds of things. He could deal with it.
All over North America and Europe.
I'm fascinated by the process sometimes. So, Chuck, in this situation, how much would you have to consult ownership to take this kind of risk and play?
I think typically with your first round picks, especially top 10 picks, you're always working with ownership. They're going to have questions. Why are you taking? Why are you taking them? In this case, because it's 2 or 3 years or 4 years, whatever it may be.
The Washington Capitals are on the board.
But again, it's all they're going to take a step back. They're going to rebuild it. And ultimately, the manager has to make that.
Be a bit of a candy part for Dave Mitchell.
It's glitching, boys.
On trades. Very excited as well. And again, Washington up at the 8th spot, their GM, Brian Cullen. And again, it's the first time now, and a lot of speculation was that Chicago had been Washington because of their history with Russian player, including Alexander Ovechkin. Not kicked. What does that mean for Washington?
Well, it means they're still going to get a heck of a figure. There's absolutely no doubt. I'm anticipating some scoring coming off the board here, and it should against it when they. This is going to be a full.
Sportsnet is glitching big time.
The Washington Capitals would like to acknowledge David Bell's on-back contribution for her nation. Congratulate him on an outstanding career. Washington Sluice, Ryan Leonard from the U.S.
Ryan Leonard.
So is it good mention actually first top 10 picks?
It is what it is.
This position for a long time. Think that they're going to maybe focus on
I got stuck this man.
Worry about it.
You win with this type of player when the games get rough. He put on an elite in there. I don't like going to see the people. I think people 1 year
I know.
back when they jump.
You don't have to sweat it.
I mean, he's 190 pounds.
Okay, the Detroit Red Wings are on the board.
He drives that line more than people recognize. Will Smith,
We were up to like 65 people. Now it's dropped to 48.
People in the hard areas. Those guys don't get the space that they deserve either.
Is this a steal, gentlemen?
I think it's a great spot to be. I think Simashev just changed the board a little bit for Leonard to be available there, but this is a guy that he plays that playoff style of game, and when you look at him, he's extremely confident. He knows exactly what he's doing. It gets underrated, believe it or not, on his line because he only had 94 points. What's really cool about his story, though, his brother John, you saw him.
If you really want to take it out, you just have to do a couple of dabs of paint and sure we can fix it.
John is 7 years older than Brian. And
It took off a dime.
such high esteem, the connection they have, the ability to be
Okay, first of all, you're pretending like it hasn't been sitting on the counter for 2 weeks. You saw them.
As a young player, all the time being welcomed by his brother John. So I love that story, and I love how he and his brother have that great connection.
Of course, his brother John.
Guys,
by San Jose in 2018.
I have a crazy
Again, the family
theory
from Amherst, Massachusetts, and
for the
another
Toronto
US
Maple Leafs.
developmental player.
So I think with everything happening so quickly, the Leafs having to find a GM and everything with all this stuff in flux, they didn't have a lot of time to go find a new coach and all these things to make the major moves that they need to do. So I think they're bringing Keefe back for 1 more year, and I think, if they don't win the Stanley Cup or don't win multiple rounds, he's going to get fired next summer. And I think Matthews and Nylander are going to get signed long term, and I think Marner is going to price himself out of Toronto, already making $11 million, wanting $1 million raise for sure. And I think at $12 million, the Leafs are going to trade him with 1 year left on his deal. Opening up that $11 million, and with the cap going up $4 to $5 million, I think it's going to allow the Leafs to go real big next year. Free agent crop is going to be good. That's just my theory.
Which is that unicorn you just don't see around the NHL.
You don't see him. Like, Chuck, you had Travis Konecny in Philly. This guy's like another level of Konecny offensively, but with that edge. So he's like that. It's like a Tom Wilson, Travis Konecny.
It doesn't matter what he asks for. The Leafs can still ask him to move. And if he doesn't move, he's gonna leave as a free agent. Either way, I don't think Marner's a Leaf long term.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great combine. He had a great under-18 tournament. Our guys really liked him. I actually didn't think he'd be there when we picked, so we feel fortunate to be able to pick him.
You knew going into this draft, everybody was talking about Washington and Mishkov. Did you see it playing out this way?
No, we didn't. We had a plan B. I thought, he might be there when we were picking, but, in our plan, I think Leonard was already picked, so we feel fortunate that it fell to us.
Did you try to move up at all?
No, last week we did. We had a couple conversations about moving up, but we're content to stay where we are.
Thanks very much, Brian. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Carolyn?
Well, Ryan, you grew up a Boston Bruins fan. You said Bobby Orr would be your dream teammate.
Ryan
What
Lynn.
about Alex Ovechkin?
Yeah, that's awesome. Growing up watching that one timer on the power play, it's really special.
You've told us that you play with a little attitude and grit. What's Washington getting?
Yeah, I think a competitive power forward who likes to get out of the team skin and kind of win.
Okay, you gave your brother John a big hug. What's he meant to you to get here?
Yeah, he's my biggest mentor in life and kind of my best friend in a way. He's awesome, and yeah, I love him to death.
Okay, well, I'm sure you'll celebrate with him tonight. Enjoy this moment. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great stuff from Carolyn there. And listen, Ryan Leonard, the guy loves the big moment. The under 18s, he got the gold medal.
Detroit Red Wings. Let's see.
Winning
Detroit
gold.
Red
The numbers he put on it. This gets the world's best under 18s. He really shined there. I'm sure his star rose there.
Yeah, he had a chance to play in 2 of them. So
Yeah,
that's an
I could
experience
see
that's
either
not a lot
Dvorsky
for
or
players.
Wallander
January 16,
going to
University
Detroit.
of Michigan, it's hard slugging against a really good team. He's sick as a dog, and he ends up growing up, if you will. Still puts up a goal and 3 assists that game. Now they lost
Yeah,
7-6,
I think
but if you want to know
the
how
Leafs going after Erik Karlsson is the blockbuster.
Flyers are happy with that. You heard Brian McClellan, or not Flyers, sorry, the Capitals. Meanwhile,
Something
Detroit,
big
the first
definitely has to happen on the defensive side.
They have the 9th and the 17th pick. They also have 3 second-round picks, so you're going to see a lot of Steve Yzerman in the next 48 hours.
Detroit Red Wings about to make their choice. I think it's either going to be Dvorsky or Wallander.
Here at number 9. Let's hear what Steve Yzerman and the gang are doing with the Detroit Red Wings' first pick of this entry draft.
First, I'd like to congratulate David Boyle, fantastic general manager, fantastic person, and a great friend on a tremendous career. Also, I'd like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on a Stanley Cup championship. With the 9th pick in the draft, the Red Wings select from the Brandon Wheat case, center Nate Danielson.
Nate Danielson.
Hugs all around for Nate Danielson, Brandon Wheat Kings, in fact, the captain of the Wheat Kings.
Wow.
Grew up an Oilers fan. I have a feeling he's
Another off the board.
Look, a big man, a ton of skill. What do you make of this pick, Sam?
Oh, I'm a big fan of this guy because it's just so cerebral. Like, he's the type of guy that if you're looking for a
St. Louis
retaliation,
Blues.
it's not likely to happen. He's just going to come back and do something else to impact the game. Then right there, watching Brian Janop, watching Brandon take face-offs. But I think about a guy that is going to play in the National Hockey League. Yeah, that sounds weird, but sometimes you get a situation and it doesn't work. Why think that? Yeah, he can put up points. There's no problem there. But this guy has a solid D game. He can match up. He can take
Benson to Detroit, eh?
So if there's not a spot for him in the top 6, or it takes a little longer for him to get there, it doesn't quite work out in that regard. He's got that solid
Oh,
D game
Zach
for a line
Benson.
where he can play in your bottom 6. He can work
The
on
left
the
winger.
PK, and he can still match up defensively. That's why I really like this player here. He's a guarantee to play.
Part of scouting is going to see players multiple times. See them on the road, see them at home, because you get different patterns, especially with your high-end guys. Listen, in those scenarios, it's a little bit too much of all situations. But some nights you're not going to get the best in this area of this game or the best in that area of this game. As he matures and they pigeonhole
St. Louis Blues are on the board.
Be it a 2-F who's going to match up on the road against the second line, etc. He can put in your second unit bar.
Hey, Steven. No worries, man. We do this every single year. And, yeah, we definitely do this every single year. And I'm going to do the trade deadline next year as well. And who knows? Maybe next week, July. Free agency is 2 weeks away. Maybe we'll do free agency as well. You guys will... you guys look out for that. We'll do a live stream when free agency starts. See how much money they spent. Last year, I think they spent, what, $2 billion in the NHL? Let's see what happens this year.
He fits in comfortably at 7. But Simishev is the guy, no doubt, who has created chaos here. And you heard it. Brian McClellan said it. And I don't think he was lying when he said, Brian Leonard, I didn't think he was going to be here. He was going to be gone ahead of us. And that's because Simishev was picked ahead of him. Leonard was available. They're extremely happy with that pick. A pick that they might have moved off earlier when the board changed the state.
There's Nate Danielson doing his thing. Again, 33 goals, 79 points. Impressive season.
Impressive stats.
Well, Nate, it's one thing to get drafted in the NHL. It's another when Steve Yzerman calls your name out. What was that moment like for you?
That was definitely a little too special. I mean, it's something I've dreamed of for a long time. And to to have him do it was actually special.
You grew up skating on the outdoor pond, obviously, in Red Deer. Grew up an Oilers fan. Do you think that little kid would have ever imagined that this moment would happen?
Oilers fan,
No,
eh?
definitely not. I mean, like you said, I've been a dream ever since I was a little kid, and to have it actually happen, I mean, it's just a ton of emotions right now.
Who do you think of today?
I mean, a lot of people, obviously, my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, they've all been amazing, and then as well as all my other family, just people back in
100% correct.
all the staff there. So
I think
Well, congratulations. Enjoy this moment.
I earlier today I looked at the list of free agents for next year, and there's some interesting names on there like Steven Stamkos, Andrei Kopitar, and the cap's going up. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting free agency next year.
First time ever, Battle of Alberta is outdoors. The 2023 Tim Hortons NHL Draft. Get your tickets now at NHL.com/heritage.
I still can't believe Dmitry Simashev is off the board.
Ring ding ding ring, ring ding 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 ring.
Let's see.
Fox is talking about me?
St. Louis.
Ring a ding.
Well, I don't know. There's some good players still out there. Top 10 is interesting. Top 10, there's a lot of talent. There's still a big right-handed defenseman that I like in Tom Willander. Dalibor Dvorsky, 6'1" center, Swedish.
How did we take our products to new markets? Find
No, not Dvorsky. Dvorsky's not Swedish, my bad. Matthew Wood.
Simple. We saw the future and export
6'3" right winger. Matthew Wood.
Today.
Let's head outdoors for the first time. The Battle of Alberta will play outdoors.
Matthew Wood, man, 6'3.5" right winger. Woo. He's playing in Yukon. Was he the one that I saw that reminded me?
NHL entry draft in Nashville, Tennessee. On the board, we can tell you St. Louis.
I remember I was looking at a bunch of highlights today, kids. I don't know if it was him, but he was he the one that looked like the power forward? I looked at so many highlights today.
Again, 3 picks in the first round. Any expectations here, Sam?
Matt Wood.
Well, I think this is the
Matt
perfect
Wood.
position to be in because you knew it.
I'm telling you, man, 6'3.5".
You also know that there's a
You
lot
can't
of
teach that.
25 and
6'3.5" right winger.
move up there. He can
This
sit
kid
back
could
and
easily
patient,
turn into a
let the
decent
player
power
be really
forward.
the board, shaking up just a little bit, and then wheel and deal with the 25th and 29th picks. I'd love to be Doug Armstrong here. You know he's not happy to be in this position, but he's here, and it starts now.
St. Louis Blues.
Doug Armstrong and the Blues won the Stanley Cup back in 2019. Had a rough year this year. Let's hear what Doug Armstrong has to
St.
say.
Louis Blues are pleased to select Dalibor Dvorsky, AIK, Sweden.
Dvorsky, I knew it.
So there it is. Dali Dvorsky, 6'1" and 200-pound player. He turned 18 just 2 weeks ago. So one of the younger players here. And again, if you don't remember, he did lead the Ivan Malenko Wayne Gretzky tournament with 8 goals. So he scores goals, and he scores goals when it's at the most meaningful and competitive time.
I was talking to scouts a couple of years ago, and they said at that age, and they were looking around and saying, this guy is Connor Bedard-like. Now, it hasn't quite turned out that way. He is a much different player than Connor Bedard, but he's been playing pro hockey for 3 years already. What I like about
Great
the story
pick indeed.
in the time
Already 6'1", 200 pounds.
going on. We know now that that's changed. Their program is now much more competitive.
He's a goal scorer for sure.
So at 9 years old, they moved to Sweden because they felt it would be better for this guy's hockey career. At 9 years old, I mean, who's thinking about what that might be like for somebody? They were dedicated to the process. They moved to Sweden. He gets an opportunity to bounce around a little bit with the Allsvenskan. The numbers really aren't that sexy. However, when you get back with the peer group and you look at the under-18s, watching him at the World Juniors where he's still an underager, really impressive stuff here. I love this player, and after meeting him in the interview and how serious he is, I like him even more, Chuck.
he's a really good player, really good two-way player. This is the sixth centerman taken.
He's a pretty big kid.
Again, a great year for centers. It's so hard to get these guys. He plays both sides.
Yeah, he's a pretty big kid.
You know, I think his skating may have to.
They say 6'1", 200 pounds, but
you know, Doug Armstrong's got.
he could be bigger than that.
Like this is number 10.
It's pretty
How
tall.
many draft years with Dallas Worski be the sixth best center?
It's a great pick by St. Louis, man.
Yeah, there's no question, no question. From a
St. Louis, man,
a
they
couple
just
things that stand out for me. Really quick catch
just
release. When he gets a puck
good
in any
picks.
scoring area, he already's made a decision what he's doing with it. Whether he's distributing it or getting it on goal, everything happens fast off this guy's stick. He dragged his team at the Under-18 World Championships into the fight. And let me tell you, the Slovaks, they are on the rise. They're a competitive group. They're doing a fantastic job over there. Another great day for their nation.
Yeah, last year was all about the Slovaks.
He's a Slovak.
At the top of the draft, and here he is at number 10, Valley Dvorsky, going to St. Louis. Again, the first of 3 picks for the St. Louis Blues, who missed the playoffs for this same time in 12 years. So, Jason, you were giving us a little bit of the scouting report. Break it all down for us now.
Yeah, well, here he is, you know, middle of the ice. Like I said, catch and release. It's on goal in a hurry. Here he's making plays off the flank. Watch his head. Watch how he's, you know, a little bit of deception there, a little bit of drag. All these kids are doing that, aren't they?
That's a nice highlight.
A little goal drag and making plays.
Oh,
This right here,
somebody got
it's
smoked from
cerebral.
behind.
It's something small, but watch his footwork as he comes to the middle of the ice. Hey, inside out, edges, 10 and 2, gets to the middle.
Those are some nice highlights.
And I love this picture of him with Marion Gaborik. He actually broke Gaborik's 15-year-old scoring record with the numbers he put up during that Olympic.
Marion Gaborik.
Unbelievable run. He met him as a little guy, and here he is now, going to follow in his footsteps into the National Hockey League. We should mention,
That's a
first of all, we're going to
serious blast from the past here.
Do you think that little kid
Thomas Vanek.
would have thought that this was possible?
I mean, he was always dreaming about it. Now it's a dream come true, so I'm extremely happy, obviously.
Yeah, what was it like? Can you put into words what it was like hearing your name called by St. Louis?
I mean, it's tough to say. It was unbelievable. I've been working hard for this moment, but the work starts now. So I'm just extremely excited to be part of it.
The work starts
And so much
now.
work has gone into it, not just from you, but by friends and family. Who are you thinking of in this moment?
Alex to bring it to the Red Wings, really, eh?
I would never be here, and all my
That's
coaches,
interesting.
teammates, everyone who helped me to get to this moment, I would like to thank them.
Well, congratulations and have fun tonight. David?
All right, we are awaiting the Vancouver Canucks for the 11th pick. Their GM Patrick Alvin. So many options, so many decisions. Where are you leaning right now, Sam?
Well, it's interesting to see what's happened here in Vancouver. You think about the coaching change, some players like Bo Horvat leaving and trying to get going here on the fly. So Jim Rutherford, Patrick Alvin, tasked with doing some difficult things here. Go back to 2019, Vasily Podkolzin, the guy who's just coming into his own, picked 10th. Here they get an opportunity to pick number 11. I'm pretty fascinated to see, but now is when I start to think that we're going to see a run of a couple of defensemen. That we knew it was going to be Ryan Backer, Axel Sandin, Blika, and Tom Willander. I think we're going to start to see that run of defensemen begin right now with those other two. Something that I'm going to be watching for now, guys, because of how the draft is starting to shake out, a few picks that were a little bit higher than we projected them to be. I'm interested to see the first team that starts to trade back to start to pick up extra assets because they got 3, 4, maybe 5 guys on their list still that they think they can grab when the trade back scenario.
And Chuck, how difficult a position is this if you're Vancouver in the sense of the expectations from the fan base are we want to win now. How do you temper that if you're a GM and you go, I have to take the best guy, even though it might be a project, 3 years down the road?
Yeah, I think that's what Patrick Alvin's trying to do. They're obviously made some trades to stay competitive, but he kept this pick last year with Lekermaki, and he's going to get a good player right here. So you're trying to make sure you have enough good assets in the system, and you're trying to take advantage of some of the good players you have,
That
like
is
Pedersen and Hughes and JT Miller. So this is a great draft. This is going to be a good pick for him.
They're entering the stage.
Vancouver.
Pick is in for the Vancouver Canucks, the 11th overall pick. Let's hear from their management group as they get set to make the selection.
Vancouver Canucks select from Rögle, Swedish Junior League, Tom Willander.
Tom Willander. This is the 6'3". What is he? This is the 6'2" right-handed defenseman I was talking about. I like this Tom Willander.
Exciting moment for Tom Willander. Remember, he grew up a Canucks fan because of the Sedins, and here he is, a young Swedish man. He'll be putting on that same Canucks sweater.
Yeah.
Whether it's next
This
year
guy's going to be excited to go to Vancouver.
Pretty exciting time for him. Your thoughts on the pick, Sam?
This guy's as serious as a heart attack. I mean, he'll look you in the eye, he'll shake your hand. He doesn't smile very much, and he's a guy who is on task. He is singularly focused on becoming a better player at every turn. A lot of times when you see Swedish players, they stay in the SHL, maybe they're going to play in the Allsvenskan, hang out there for a couple of years, fulfill some contracts. Not this guy. He's coming over to play college hockey, and he felt that it was the best piece for his development to do that. It's not often that you see that happen. I give this guy a lot of credit because he's focused on the plan. He's not deviating from the plan, and you can see it. He's serious.
This is what's interesting here. You mentioned
I like this kid a lot.
Committed to Boston University, and he did play with Valley Dvorsky, who was the 10th pick. So there's a little run on the Swedish defenseman, as we mentioned. And what about Willander? Because he was not even really on the draft screen as far as the first rounder in April. What happened here, Case?
No, he had a heck of a tournament in November is what happened. I mean, we were all there, Chuck, Sammy, and I, and he broke out of that's where he committed to BU. BU was there. They recruited him out of that tournament. He made the commitment to go there. When you talk about being serious with a heart attack, I told him, I said, when you get to BU, you're going to have to play BC.
Guys, I'll be right back.
That big line cover of the U.S. national team program, he just stands up at the combine, looks good, yeah, and he goes, just come watch the games. Yeah. Kind of cocky confident. Hey, listen, he's a lot like Axel Sandin Pellica, a little bit lighter offensively, elite beat, two-way beat, gap control, out of this world. Real great skater.
Chuck, how much do you want to see confidence from a player? It's sort of that borderline cockiness, but not over the top. When you're interviewing these guys at the combine, etc.
You really want to see it. You know, the combine's one thing, but you want to see that confidence on the ice, the way they play, and this guy does it. Great gaps. He's very assertive. He moves the puck well, and really good two-way defenseman, and pretty good size.
All right, give us the full scouting report, JB.
Well, here we go. Let's talk about mobility. So, defend from the middle of the ice out, grab the puck, escape pressure, make an outlet play. Boom, up the wall, the team goes on offense. Again, here we are. Absorb contact, a little subtle reverse play. Move it up the other side. The team breaks the puck out clean. Hey, guys, it's a track meet, the NHL. You got to move the puck efficiently. A little zag on the offensive blue line. He's got more of this in him. It hasn't really come to the fruition. It's not been his elite element yet. He's got more of that in him, though, Sammy.
Let's get you back down to the floor. We'll hear from Tom, who's standing by with Karen.
Tom, you grew up a Canucks fan, idolizing the Sedins, and now you wear their jersey. How does it feel?
It's amazing. From being very small, I always looked up to this team. Just seeing the logo up on the screen just made me nostalgic. To be honest, so it's a big honor. Big honor.
Tell us all, as a kid, how a trip to Tampa kind of created this dream.
Well, it was all about going over there to a vacation, really, but being able to see NHL for the first time, up close, got to see it right at the ring, so that's kind of where sparked the switch in me, So.
And in your words, what kind of player and person are the Canucks getting?
I'd say they're getting a person who really wants to make change. I'm a driven person, and I really want to make this a great decision for the Vancouver Canucks.
Well, Tom, congratulations and enjoy.
Thank you.
David?
Well, we had 6 Swedes taken in the first round last year, and maybe we're going to have even more this year. This was a little run right now. Let's get you back on the floor, Elliot.
Patrick, there have been some rumors that this was the guy on your radar. What do you like?
You know what? My staff was coming into the season. They were smart player, right shot defenseman, just trending up. I mean, it was impressive the second half here. So his mobility and ability to defend here, and the path is going to Boston University as well.
Did anyone make you think? Did anyone tempt you in terms of moving up into your spot?
There were some discussions there. But our scouting staff thought there that this was the guy we wanted. So he made it pretty simple for us, but he was still there to take the pick. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so Tom Willander goes 11th overall to Vancouver. move. Arizona's back on the clock. What do you make of this, by the way, the Tilden car rental setup we got here? Because it's like I feel like I'm at a restaurant or a valet service.
I didn't wear it. It was my backup today, and I wasn't going plumb.
I'm just hoping the team paid for it.
I like that.
All right, well, for the second time today, Bill Armstrong to take to the podium. And again, they selected Dmitry Simashev, 6th overall, a D-man. Are they going to add another D-man? Or are they going to look for a forward here at the 12th spot?
Yeah, lots of really good options still available. We talk about the depth of this draft. I'd love to be in a position where I'm picking 6 to 12 of the 8 teams with multi-picks, the 2 highest here, beginning at 6 and now here at 12.
All right, well, the Arizona Coyotes appear ready. Again, this pick was picked up for the Jacob Chikrin trade from Ottawa Senators. Let's hear from Bill Armstrong and the Coyotes.
The Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from Yaroslav Daniel Boot.
Well, the Arizona Coyotes are keeping their Russian theme going because that's now 2 Russians selected in the top 12 by Arizona. Daniel Boot goes 4th overall. He played in the KHL as well. It's listed as raw talent. His father, Anton, of course, was drafted 119th by New Jersey many moons ago. Never did play a game in the National Hockey League. What do you make of this pick? Surprise or expect?
Yeah, I'm surprised again. And again, a player that I thought that would be available, like we thought Simashev would be available a little later in the draft, maybe a trade back scenario. But then again, when you think about a trade back, this is a team that already has a ton of draft picks, has had for the last couple of years. How many draft picks can you possibly have before you start to put live bodies into uniforms? And so this situation, they're obviously very confident with what they have in terms of scouting in Russia and the ability to get those players over here at some point. I wonder if the situation with the home and things being sort of confusing in terms of where they might play after this year has played a factor in any of this.
Chuck, I want to know, do you sometimes have it where you have this one scout that you really lean on, and maybe it's the Russian scout, in this case with the Arizona Coyotes, that they're just loving the information he or she is bringing?
That does happen. I think in this case, so because we've all had the video scout, it's been hard to see these players in person. But both these players are longer-term plays. It may take them a little bit of time to come over. You're talking about a franchise here in Arizona that has 17 second and third-round picks the next 3 years. I think they have 7 picks in the top 88, and all they have are picks, so they can take the time if they really believe these are the 2 best kids, Simashev and Boot.
So here's my takeaway from this. First of all, comparable. For people out there who don't know this player, think Tage Thompson, and for some of you Elite fans, Nick Antropov. He's somewhere in between those 2 right now in his development and where he projects to be. I'm starting to believe now as well, just like Chuck mentioned, there's only 50 contracts in the league. They have to start to manage not only best player on their draft grid, but also timeline for arrival, because otherwise they're going to have to start trading out a lot of these picks because they're all arriving at the same time.
Yeah, I remember May 16th, that public referendum voting against the new arena development in Tempe. So all sorts of question marks surrounding the Arizona Coyotes and their future in the desert. And maybe some question marks surrounding, at least from you gentlemen, the picks they're making today. Talented player, but maybe selected earlier than they needed.
I had him in the first round. I had him going 21st. So there's no doubt when you watch the tape of this player, you're well when he brings to the table. And of course, size is the thing that Bill Armstrong always appreciates, but his ability to play with speed, his hands and his feet are actually really good for a big guy. And you can think that both those things are only going to get better as he gets stronger. You can see there's probably some room to add to that frame as well. But already put together, and guys that have seen him like in street clothes are saying, all right, this guy's a physical specimen as it is. But again, there's still room to add to that physicality. So a really, really talented player, not to be discounted here. Again, a little high for me, but still a first-round pick, in my opinion, in this class.
We're done the first 12 of the draft. It's been an emotional night. Family's dreams coming true, starting with Connor Bedard. The tears are real. They're tears of joy. More tears coming from Nashville after this. Some marketing guy everybody wants.
Begins Saturday on Sportsnet. With inflation these days, it's nice to know my pizza rate will change.
We didn't even need a medical exam. People across Canada are logging in to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza.
Fixed Rate Pizza helps me focus on my future.
We can finally afford our dream pizza.
The website walked me through every step. There were no steps. Get an extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $16.99. Log in today at Pizza Pizza. race against the Nazis. We have a 12-month head start. 18. We got 1 hour. Our nation's best scientists working together here. Secret laboratory. Keep everyone there until it's done.
Great improviser, but this you can't do in your head.
This is the most important thing that ever happened in the history of the world. They just fired a starting. The president needs to know what's next. What's next? Why? It was July 21st.
The new $50 Mega Instant ticket has huge top prizes of $5 million. That's huge. A game so big, it's giant.
They fixed car accident damage.
Like, fix?
Yeah. And TD Insurance gave us a lifetime warranty in the repair.
Oh. Lifetime, meaning?
The beast lives.
You're still gonna drive me to school on that thing?
Oh.
At TD Insurance Auto Centers or preferred vendors, you get a lifetime warranty for as long as you're insured with us.
Yeah, let's go.
TD Insurance.
Continues tomorrow.
Buffalo Sabres are on the clock. Let's get you down on the floor with Elliot Fried.
Took the 2 best players in our opinion on our list. We really value the fact that our first pick, Dimitri Sushek, is a machine. He's
What did I miss?
Skaters is a big man in the draft, and he can cover some ground. And, we're just excited to get him. Our second
Scorpios Rex.
just a big man with
All
skill.
good, my brother.
He's got some good speed. He can make the score. His dad was actually drafted in the NHL, never got a chance to come over here. So we're really excited about both those players. For us, they were on board, and we wanted to make sure, as an organization, we took the 2 best guys off the board.
Really, Arizona? They took Daniil Butt?
Buffalo Sabres are
Daniil
proud to
Boot?
select from Winnipeg in the Western Hockey League, Zach Benson.
The Buffalo Sabres. Zach Benson.
Fantastic moment. Zach Benson at the top right shot, Winnipeg Ice. His parents, Darcy and Jacqueline, smiles all around. And again, we have a BC here, Langley, BC. I'm just smiling as they see this scrappy player taken 14th overall by the Buffalo Sabres.
I absolutely love this guy. And I'm thinking that with Arizona having drafted Connor Geekie last year, they would
Pittsburgh Penguins are up next.
Benson, and I thought he might have been a target for them here, but clearly Bill Armstrong going with the size. 13th overall for Zach Benson. A lot of my year, I had him in the top 10 and comfortably inside the top 10. I love this guy.
You know who's really intriguing?
He's happy. He's got a smile on his face.
Gabe Perreault. Gabriel Perreault. He's got a dad that played in the NHL. He's playing in the U.S. under 18. Scores a lot of goals. Scores a lot of points. He's an interesting player.
On a team full of rock stars, he was able to carve out his own ice as a younger player. Love him, and I love the lid too.
And you mentioned Matthew Savoy. He played with them, and now he's going to play with them at some point with the Buffalo Sabres. You have to imagine that factored in. They love the chemistry there.
Yeah, well, anybody, like Sammy says, who can rock the mullet from the CHL prospect all the way into the year, it's awesome. Anyways, listen, exceptional skill. But this guy here, he's not a darter on straight lines necessarily through the neutral zone. He's going to kind of move laterally a little bit more. So that makes him a little bit more difficult to play with as a line mate, only because you got to wait it out sometimes. But his spatial awareness is outstanding. He's got great character, elite skill, make plays in a phone booth. Buffalo Sabres have drafted a lot of smaller skill guys. Add this kid to the equation.
Chuck, is there any concern with smaller players? We just saw the Vegas Golden Knights, a huge team, go and win the Stanley Cup. How much do you factor those things in? I mean, we're not talking about tiny guys, 5'10", 170. He's probably going to fill up to 185. But how much do you factor size into the mix?
Well, you do. And
Yeah, I think unfortunately, when you're the Phoenix Coyotes, man, you'll take anybody who's willing to come and play with you.
Team like Vegas had Marcia Shell, who's a big time player. This guy Benson is competitive. If they're small, they better be really good and competitive, and that's what he is. And that's a great pick at 13.
I tell you, Pittsburgh's on the clock at 14.
Did they just boo the Pittsburgh Penguins? I like that.
Buffalo Sabres, right? 12 years without the playoffs, longest stretch in any of the 4 major North American sports. This is the year they're expecting to have that great year.
I don't know what to expect from the Pittsburgh Penguins right now. Kyle Dubas is running that draft, and he's looking at the list of prospects. He's looking for skill.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's pretty surreal, and I'm so stoked to be a Buffalo Sabre.
You grew up spending your summers traveling city to city, town to town in Western Canada with your family's carnival business. What did your family teach you about work ethic?
Yeah, it takes a lot of hard work. Just watching my grandpa and dad, what they do every day. It's a lot of hard work, and they're definitely an inspiration in my life.
Hey, you're ready to put the hard hat on for the Buffalo Sabres just
Listen,
lastly.
it's good to talk about hard work and learning the value of hard work. But these guys pretend like they're the only ones who have parents that work hard.
Awesome, thank you.
Well, let's have some fun for a few minutes here and take you through some of his highlights. Here he is, like I'm saying, off the rush, doing the middle of the ice, through the guy's skates. I mean, it's elite. It's fun to watch. Like, fans are going to really enjoy this. He finds seams. Like, some guys who don't have exceptional pace, they find seams, they find open space, hockey sense. That's what that's called. Step in the middle of the ice, bang it home. I mean, this guy right here, he's a blade driver. It's just a different kind of blade driver. That's all, that's why I can describe it. He's going to be a leader, and he can play in all situations despite just that high-end skill.
Yeah, 4th in points per game in the WHL, a skilled player. But more on Zach Benson. Let's send it to Kyle.
Yeah, David, you saw how happy his family was when you heard his name called. His grandparents lived in the Vancouver area, over a 4-hour drive from Wenatchee, Washington. So when they heard Benson's Winnipeg Ice were relocating there, they bought season tickets as soon as they became available. Families used to like
Oliver Moore, right? Oliver Moore?
The interview with Zach, so you can expect a steady Benson family presence in Wenatchee and Buffalo when the time comes to you.
I have Oliver Moore actually at 14 going to Pittsburgh, so that would be actually a pretty good pick.
For them, gentlemen, that's Kyle Dubas ready to make essentially his first pick as the GM who's hired.
The Kyle Dubas era starts in Pitt.
What is the anticipation here for the Pittsburgh Penguins? This is a weird spot for them, guys. They've gone, 16 straight years making the playoffs. They're not used to picking this high.
Thanks for subscribing, man. I really appreciate it.
And draft the sort of player that he drafted with Toronto, or does he rely on the scouts that work under the ones that he inherited when he got to Pittsburgh? I'll be fascinated to see how it works out. Or maybe those two things converge and maybe agree on a player.
Let's hear from Kyle Dubas.
On behalf of our organization, we'd first like to recognize the great career of Nashville Predators General Manager David Boyle.
Why is Nashville booing this guy?
Great for hockey, but a great mentor to.
What did he do to piss off Nashville?
Thank you, David. With the 14th selection in the 2023 NHL Entry Draft, the Pittsburgh Penguins are proud to select from the Moose Jaw Warriors, Braden Yeager.
Braden Yeager. I think he was slated to go like 16, 17, 18, 19 range. So they must really like him. Braden Yeager, center, 5'11", 166 pounds. Yeah, that is definitely a Dubas pick. 5'9", 166 pounds. 5'11", 160.
All right, that's his calling card. That's what he needs to do. He came into this year and he recognized that, hey, maybe I got to change my game a little bit. Maybe I start to have to add some playmaking to my game. So what did he do? He took a dip in the goals, 28, which didn't impress scouts much, but he went from 25 to 50 assists, and in doing so, really worked in that part of his game. We talked to him at the combine, and I asked him about that. I said, people challenge you about the goal scoring going down. As you get older, you're supposed to score more. He said, you know what? I made a conscious decision to work on my playmaking. Looking back, I probably should have been a little bit more selfish and taken a few more shots. So I love that awareness in the fact that he's trying to improve on one part of his game. He goes back, reviews it again, and says, you know what? Maybe I need to get back to what my calling card is, and that's shooting the puck and playing with.
I don't know if this is a good pick for Pittsburgh.
This is a little bit of a compromise. And what I mean by that is that he's not a giant, but he's also not tiny. I think he's going to weigh out at about $185 by the time he matures. He's equal parts shooter and distributor now, but he plays a 3-zone game. He's going to play with detail. He's going to push people around him to be better. He shows up to play every day, guys. He's a competitive kid.
And a late bloomer, right? He played double-A hockey till he was 14-plus years of age. He wasn't one of those, he wasn't Connor Bedard on sort of that track right from the age of 7 or 8. Chuck, you look for that where it takes a little bit, maybe extra resilience, a little bit of extra grit to keep that NHL
He's
dream
small.
alive.
Well, he's not small. 5'11" is small, but he's got to fill out. He's got to be at least 185, 190.
Have a lot of forward prospects. To grab a center like Jaegers is a good coup for them.
You've seen some of the highlights, guys. We're talking about that quick release. Forehand, backhand. The first one you saw was far down coming off the foot. Here he comes for the neutral zone late. That's a weak back check. I'm not going to lie, but hey, he identified the opportunity. There he was.
All right, it's getting noisy here, and that's because the Nashville Predators are on the clock, but we want to hear, of course, from Braden Jaeger. So we're going to head down to the stage in Barrow.
Thanks very much, David. Just chatting here. Braden, you studied
Nashville Predators coming up next.
It's a dream. I mean, he's a guy that I've looked up to my whole life, and obviously the Penguins are an unbelievable organization. So it's a dream. I can't even put it into words.
You also looked up to Leon Draisaitl, who you met when he visited your minor hockey team. How did that meeting help ignite this dream?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of sparked my decision to go to the WHL. Obviously, watching a guy like Leon, he's an incredible player, and inspired me to go to the WHL. And
Leon.
Obviously, this got me to where I'm today, so I'm super happy.
Cole Caulfield
Big
small.
boy, big country fan. How are you enjoying Nashville?
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, we've kind of walked around downtown here, and there's tons of music going on. It's crazy atmosphere. It's awesome.
Well, congrats and enjoy tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
David?
All right, well, you just said the A word, atmosphere, and there's certainly a lot of atmosphere in this building right now because there is some anticipation. David Boyle will be making his final selection as general manager of the Nashville Predators. He's stepping down. Terry Trotz set to take over a very esteemed franchise. And it's worth saying, David Boyle has built this city, and I don't want to...
It's a crapshoot. Pretty much from pick 15 to the end, it's a crapshoot. Everyone's going to be picking based on needs. I don't think there's a crazy amount of talent there.
My first 5 years in the league, and he was a mentor to me. He's just a fantastic human being. This building, guys, back then, we were about 11,000, 12,000 a night. It was a slow build, and when we got here, when this city got here, it's on fire now. What an awesome place to play hockey and raise a fan.
David Boyle is one of the great builders of all time.
Which player did you think wasn't going to be selected that got selected?
What he's done for the city, for this franchise.
What was his name? Shimishev? Simishev?
The same baseball winner, because I came to a hockey game, and at the intermission, a band breaks out. I'm like, what is going on here? But that's part of the fabric of what it's all about here in Nashville. All right, let's get down to the food.
I guess right. Nice.
All right, we'll get back down to Italy in just a matter of moments. Nashville's on the clock. You see David Boyle making that long walk for the final time.
This kid is excited. He's like, come on.
Latest pick. And again, just like Pittsburgh, just like Washington, this is rare form for them to not be a playoff team. So they're going to be, ready to make the corner turn quickly here.
Boyle turns it over to Trotz, gives him 13 picks in this draft. Here, hit the ground running.
7 in the top 83.
That's really impressive stuff.
Yeah, and they were trying feverishly to move up, but they don't. Here they are.
No. We are at number 15, and the Leafs still picked at 28.
From the University of Connecticut, Matthew Wood.
Oh, Matt Wood! We thought he'd get selected sooner. This kid is 6'3.5" and 200 pounds already. Holy smokes. This is a good pick. This is a Nashville. Yeah, Edward Saleh is a right winger. No, he's a 6'2" left winger.
BC boys who hung out as youngsters. Matthew Wood, at 9 years old, lived with Connor Bedard.
And then, of course, they've got their buddy in the middle of it all, Zach Benson. Now they're all waiting on Andrew Crystal to be picked. But this group of players grew up playing together.
This is a very typical Nashville Predators pick.
To the Regina Pats to play with Bedard in the CHL because he wanted to carve his own path by going to UConn. He went to UConn after being named the CHL Rookie of the Year.
Carey Price came up to make the pick, and then he said the first name. Then he's like, and he forgot the last name, and then they told him what the last name was, and then he mispronounced it. he said David, and his name is Reinbacher. He said Rainbacker.
And there it is. Again,
You can't go up there and screwing up people's names. You only get drafted once.
35 games, and as you said, modest numbers, like 11 goals, modest numbers, but here's a guy who can do a lot of different things, and really an exceptional young man. Yeah,
Solid, played in Brno, Czechoslovakia. Czechia.
But it didn't take him very long to acclimate himself. And next thing you know, the point per game numbers might count on saying, I have to keep playing him. I'm playing him more and more in more high leverage situations because he's been so good for us. I think it's the shot that really speaks volumes about his game. At the end of the year, at the end of the 18s, he started to show a little bit more grit, some compete. That final game for Canada in the bronze, he was excellent there. And that is part of why.
No worries, man. That's just my guess. We'll see what happens. A lot of players are getting picked out of order right now, so there might be even better talent than this guy available.
Yep, it's on and off the stick in a hurry. Right shot, there he goes. And now he gets a chance to work off the half wall, brings it to the middle of the ice. Oh, it looks a little bit like Connor Bedard, little curl and drag. Let's take this thing to the top shelf. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna pack a little bit. No way you're stopping me. I'm gonna go full glove.
I'm gonna put a dark horse on the list for the Leafs. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Danny Nelson.
All right, so that's 15th overall. Let's zoom back to first overall.
USA under 18.
Hope you can hear me okay.
6'3".
Congratulations to you. You're looking good, by the way. Very good there, the big smile. Listen, your journey, it ends right now, but it started out, you were a little guy. You were impressing everyone back at the Brick tournament when you were 10 years of age.
He's a center. Danny Nelson is a center.
From the little Connor Bedard to the Chicago Blackhawks.
You live in Sudbury, eh? Musty is a must.
That was so big this morning, and I talked with my family and the journey we've been on together. Yeah, I got some highlights there, but no, it's been so much fun. And, I have such a love and passion for the game, and to be able to play it every day because of my parents and family has been unbelievable. Well, what's next for you? We're going to go through some stuff, some PR stuff, and now you get the opportunity to really go to work. Where does it go right from?
I haven't really seen Musty play, so you got to tell me a little about him. Dubas was able to pick for the Pittsburgh Penguins because the Leafs just don't give a fuck. Adrian, you're welcome, buddy. No worries. We stream the draft every year, and most probably I'm gonna do free agency as well. If you guys want to tune in for free agency, and we could discuss all the different signings and things like that, and most probably we'll do the trade deadline too. The Flames, eh? Let's see the Flames.
Two guys that'll help me win games as well. So,
the Flames.
Your family, I know they've made so many sacrifices to get here. You're such a humble young man. How much are you thinking about
the Flames? I'm gonna go with Samuel Honzik, who's 6'3.5" and a left winger. He's from where does he play? I believe he plays in Vancouver. He's from Slovakia. There we go. He's from Slovakia. Samuel Honzik, 6'3.5", 186 pounds. He's a Czech player.
Next up, we can tell you the Calgary Flames are on the board at 16. They're ready to make their selection, and it's a special moment.
The Flames are on.
replace Bradtree Living. 9 years as the assistant GM. Here he is, ready to make his first pick as a member.
Once this pick is made, Bradtree Living gets to come to the Leafs table and sit around with the boys and participate in the draft.
Predators in the city of and the people of Nashville. We've had a great time this week. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank congratulate the.
Hey, Joshua from the UK. What's up, man? You're a new Leafs fan, eh? Welcome to Leafs Nation. I'm officially welcoming you to Leafs Nation. We got you. TML domain, we got you.
Positively influenced by David Coyle. He did his job with class, dignity, and honesty, and wish him lots of success, much success in his future. For our first pick, I'd like to introduce our new general manager, Craig Conroy.
Craig Conroy.
I want to thank all our season ticket holders back at the draft park at the Telus Club in Scotiabank Saddledome. Hope they're having a good time.
Aha, new subscription. Nice. Thanks, Joshua.
We're going to take from the Vancouver Giants, Samuel Hanzik.
What did I just say? Samuel Hanzik. Did I not just say Samuel Hanzik? What did I tell you? What did I tell you, man? 6'3.5", big power forward, left winger. Let's go.
Hanzik taken 16th overall by the Calgary Flames. This is a large gentleman, 6'4", one of the taller players you're going to see drafted. Again, he was injured at the World Juniors. Had his leg cut by a skate, but that didn't really slow him down. Second in the WHL.
Oh man, you gotta stay up. You gotta stay up till 4 or 5 a.m. to watch Leafs games. Joshua, man, you're dedicated. I love it. The UK. You stick with the Leafs. You stick with the Leafs. Big things are coming with the Leafs. Don't you worry about it.
That says a lot to me about a guy, but also very well thought out. There's an opportunity for him.
Yeah. After today, Tree Living is going to go to work. He's already had very meaningful discussions with Ilya Samsonov, who's going to get signed. The Leafs are going to play. Leafs are going to hold on to Matt Murray. He's not going to be very healthy for very long this season. The Leafs are going to run 3 goalies, use that cap space. I think they're going to be good. They're going to make the playoffs 96, 97, 98 points. It's not a Stanley Cup year, but they will trade Mitch Marner and change the coach next summer. And then you're going to see the big turnaround. Cap's going to jump. Leafs got $11 million from Marner. Yeah, 1,000%. Marner's getting $11 million right now. He's going to want to raise, and he's already overpaid. He's going to price himself out of Toronto. Mario, thanks for wishing Josh. Welcoming him to Leafs Nation. Listen, Marner can score 200 points, but at the end of the day, he can't score goals when you need him to, and he doesn't do anything on the power play at the point. The problem with Marner is he's soft. He's probably the softest player we got. And you can't... Realistically, playmakers have never made this kind of money. They overpaid him. I love... You give Mitch Marner at $9 million and 9.5 Huberdeau money. Like Huberdeau at $10 million, he got overpaid. He's a playmaker who can't generate his own offense and can't score goals. So, you know, people keep saying Mitch Marner is a 100-point guy. He hasn't scored 100 points yet. Matthews has. Listen, if you offered me Marner at 11 million or Nylander at 9, a guy who just scored 80-something points and had 40 goals, I choose Nylander every single day of the week. And then I use that cap space to add. I love Nylander. Watching the playoffs, the guy's clutch. He scores goals when you need. If I'm down in a game and I got to put my best players on the ice, I'm hoping they're all goal scorers. John Tavares, goal scorer. Matthews, goal scorer. Nylander, goal scorer. I want a bunch of goal scorers on the ice. I don't need Mitch Marner doing dipsy doodles, pulling back, losing the puck, and coughing the puck up, and losing momentum. A lot of times in the playoffs, when Marner starts moving around, he will kill your momentum. When you got a team hemmed for about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, they're hemmed in their own zone. he will do something stupid, and that puck comes out of the zone, and then you're done.
When yours was me.
Oh man, Marner or Panarin? That's a hard decision. To me, whichever one makes less. Actually, I would choose Panarin because Panarin can score goals on his own. Marner can't. Yeah, the Leafs definitely need to revamp their D core. But I think guys like Connor Timmins need to be given a chance. Like Connor Timmins looked good to me. When he played, the Leafs won games. He made simple passes. He moved the puck. He wasn't a liability like Justin Hall. And every time he was in the lineup, the Leafs won games.
Nothing. Yeah, right. Look good though.
It's not rocket science.
Didn't do it the last time.
Better make it 10.
Oh, Sheldon Keefe's brother is the Belfast Giants, eh? That's interesting. I didn't know that. Thanks for that piece of information.
Moments ago, as announced by David Boyle, it is Jim Nill of the Dallas Stars, GM of the year. Great run for Dallas.
Hey, if the Leafs are going after Erik Karlsson, I love it. Because the Leafs need a true number one D-man in a power play. Okay, let's see. Where are we? The Detroit Red Wings.
As the season started to where we finished, it was a huge step.
Let's look through my notes here.
He's a great athlete. So I think
Yeah, when I look at the Detroit Red Wings right now, I'm thinking Gabriel Perreault. That's, the guy's got an NHL dad. He just broke Matthews' scoring title for the U.S. national team. This kid's got all sorts of upside. Right in the middle of the first round, this is where I would pick someone like that.
Great to have you here with us, the newest member of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Congratulations. You're looking good in blue, my friend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you might need a pro contract pretty soon. So you have, 130 friends and family.
I don't think Keefe and Dubas are great friends.
So special.
I don't think they saw eye to eye on a lot of things. This whole idea of holding onto the puck and puck possession and turn it back instead of coughing it up, I think Sheldon Keefe would dump and chase more. You saw that more in the playoffs.
Your grandmother Mariola, how special is she to you, and what would you be thinking here?
Yeah, I agree. The problem with Sheldon Keefe is this. He's had many seasons as coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He had a full season this year. He got into the playoffs, and game one, he didn't know what his number one lineup was. If you don't know what your best lineup is and you're a coach, you're not paying attention.
I haven't yet, to be honest with you. I was kind of waiting to see one team and then talking to them and then talking to people around me and seeing after that. But I'm sure those conversations.
No, I don't think Sheldon Keefe is a bad coach, but I think the Leafs need a very specific type of coach for where they are where they are as a team, as a franchise. They need a veteran coach. They need a Pat Quinn, a Pat Burns. Like, they need one of those veteran coaches that just knows how to win in the NHL.
Well, congratulations, Adam. It's a really exciting time. And I should ask, what's sort of next as far as the immediate future right now? What are you going to be doing over the next month or two to get ready?
Yeah, as soon as I can, I'm going to get back down to Plymouth, and I'm going to be training there and trying to get ready for the next season, whether that's with Columbus or whether that's back in Michigan. So I just want to get big.
Yeah, I think the Leafs are going to win a round, not multiple next season, and I think that's going to be enough to fire Keefe.
Columbus pick. Must be exciting to think that you guys are going to be reunited here at some point.
Oh yeah, we were used to be teammates and line mates in Toronto there, the Red Wings. So it'll be really great to get back on the ice.
The Toronto Red Wings. Who plays for the North York Red Wings?
Threw out the first pitch a little while ago.
You can't call me a two-star.
And here it is. Yeah, what happened here? Was it oh, sorry, we're sewering you here on national TV.
No, it's all good. I was practicing at the Michigan field off the mound, and
I was like, I'm used to throwing it down from that distance, and as soon as I got up there,
His brother is definitely having success, which is great to see.
There's no chance I can throw this in the dirt, so maybe I just throw it a little bit higher.
Well, listen, you had great success at Michigan. You had great success at Columbus. We really appreciate you taking the time. Enjoy it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
There is Adam Fantilli.
I still can't believe Adam Fantilli fell to the Columbus Blue Jackets. God damn it.
Korea, winning the Hobey Baker as a freshman. Jack Eichel, now a Stanley Cup winner, winning the Hobey Baker as a freshman. And Adam Fantilli, can't wait to see what he does in Columbus for the Blue Jackets. All right,
Joel Quenneville.
17th overall is the
Yeah, he could be. All the off ice stuff aside, Joel Quenneville, that's just a hockey person, is not actually a bad option.
They've added great name. What are they going to do at 17? Any thoughts on this, Sam?
Well, Detroit, has that luxury of the second two highest picks. We looked at Arizona at 6 and 12, and they're pretty confident with the player they like.
No.
Again, we talk about the depth of this.
Those are two tests I did. There's another one.
See which way Steve Yzerman takes this. Remember, this is an organization that's had a lot of success going to Sweden. Håkan Andersson, the legendary scout there. We'll see if that's the direction they go here.
They're taking the stage. Jason, any thoughts here for the Detroit Red Wings? We see they've added a talented forward in Nate Danielson, and now here they are moments away from the second first-round pick.
Yeah, we're getting into that situation here where I'm starting to get more and more curious about what's going to go off the board defensively. So it's going to be interesting. There's some real good players on the back end still on the board here.
All right, well, let's hear from the Detroit Red Wings as they make the second first-round pick.
Before making our selection, I'd like to thank all the Red Wing fans back in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena who are watching the draft live. We really appreciate your support. With the 17th pick, Red Wings select from Skellefteå, Sweden of the SHL, Axel Sandin Pelican.
Damn it, they took Axel Sandin? Come on. I wanted the Leafs to pick that guy.
Big hugs there, especially.
I was just thinking that in my head. Axel Sandin Pellikka. Damn it.
Pedigree there from Sweden. And you know what, Chuck, you said earlier, that right-handed shot defenseman almost as coveted as a center, and that's what they went with, the right-handed shot defenseman.
Yeah, they did. They're hard to find, and Steve has some size on the back end already. Sider, Edmondson's coming, Wallinder's coming, and they moved Veronik last year. To Vancouver, and Sandy Malik is a guy that can come in. He's 5'11", but he can defend, and these guys can talk about the scouting report, but this is a good player.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Back in November, he wasn't really on the radars. How did he get on the radar and ultimately into the first round?
His skating ability, his poise, he plays mistake-free type of hockey, and that's what I love most about this guy. When you go back and think about what the defensemen were going to be, I thought 3 great shot defensemen would be taken in the first half of this draft. We missed by 1. I also figured Detroit might jump on this player at pick number 9. That didn't happen because I think a player that...
Oh, man, I think Quentin Musty's coming up, man. I think someone's going to pick Quentin Musty coming up.
That same player that I projected at 9, here at number 17. Really
I know, right? That's why I actually had Axel Sandin Pellikka down for Detroit. I actually had him at 17, but I said no, they're not going to pick him. They're going to pick Gabe Perreault. I screwed up. Guys. Guys, I screwed up. I overthought my pick. I should have known they were going to go with the Swede.
Much more to talk about, but we do want to get into Kyle, who has something to add.
Yeah, Dave, well, thankfully for Axel Sandin Pellikka, he never had a difficult time finding ice growing up in Sweden. His father, Yanni, or you mentioned, DA, would build a small pad of ice in the yard during the winter, so he had a space to skate and work on his skills. In fact, at one time, though, they had the key to a local arena so he could skate nearly whenever he wanted to. Defenseman wore 88 blush growing up because he idolized Patrick Kane along with Erik Karlsson. Now has the key to the hearts of Detroit and the Red Wings. Dave?
Oh, that's right. We see that with so many of these kids. They're inspired. That's why, Wayne Gretzky would always say, I have to put on a show every time I play because I know there's some young child watching me, maybe wanting to emulate me, maybe wanting to follow.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Future Hall of Famers that we're seeing.
It's such great inspiration to young players, and you grow up watching them, you emulate them, and then all of a sudden, at 13 years old, you're saying, "Hey, maybe I can be one of those players." What's impressive to me about this guy is the way he ended the year.
All right, come on. Number 17. Number 18, Winnipeg Jets, eh?
Canada and an 8-0 win to open the term.
Let's get you back down to the floor, Steve Arseman. And
Yeah, I think Quentin Musty might be coming off the boards. I think Quentin Musty.
Really, to be honest, none. You know, Nick, not only Nick Lidstrom, Nick Cronwell. The reason why is Nick couldn't get here. His flight got canceled. I think he's still driving to Detroit as we speak here. Couldn't make it from New York here. So, but we have Nick Cronwell, Nick Lidstrom in Sweden. Obviously, Håkan Andersson's been scouting for us in Sweden a long time, as well as Thomas Carlson. They're all there watching in Sweden.
Winnipeg Jets pick is in. I like that. That's quick, fast. Let's go. Let's go. You're on the clock. That pick is in. Let's go.
He's in the mold of some of those Swedish defense.
Braden Yeager. As Braden Yeager hasn't been picked yet, right?
All right, so that was number 17, Steve Arseman. Number 18 on the board, the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Shoveldale.
Oh, Braden Yeager was taken already.
Already moving and shaking.
Come on, man. Pay attention.
Oh,
man.
Overall pick. So what we see in store? Well, hold on, we're going to get to the Jets.
Colby Barlow, Otto Stenberg.
Well, Axel, when your dad came home from a business trip as a kid, he gifted you a Pat Kane jersey. This dream was born. Fair to say that's your new favorite jersey?
Oh, yeah, for sure. No questions asked.
What was the moment like hearing your name called?
So awkward, these interviews, eh? So awkward. Poor kids. I feel sorry for the person that has to like strike up a conversation with somebody they just met 5 seconds ago, and
What influence did
all they have is like these like hockey anecdotes that are like beyond awkward. They really got to find something better to talk about.
To still build confidence, even though I had a bad game, I can still, focus on the next one and, just continue to play my game. So he's been helping me a lot.
So my picks for the Leafs at 28. Leafs at 28. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. We're gonna put it in the chat. So what was his name? Edward. What did I have it on my list? Edward Solé. Edward Solé, left winger. Or
down to the stage against the Winnipeg Jets. Their only first round pick, number 18 overall. Remember, they lost to the Vegas Golden Knights in 5 games in the first round to bounce back quickly and see what they have at.
Danny Nelson.
Draft the Winnipeg Jets. I'd like to thank the city of Nashville for tremendous
Center.
events. Love to congratulate David Boyle for a tremendous career. Thank you very much for all your mentorship.
Peace out, A-Town.
Say hello to all our fans. Draft barbecue. Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from Owen Sound of the OHL, Colby Barlow.
The Leafs are going to make the playoffs easy. Colby Barlow. I knew it. Colby Barlow. I knew it.
And the youngest captain, actually, in franchise history for the Owen Sound team. Really, Ontario cheering right now for Colby Barlow. What do you make of this pick?
I love it. I love this player. I mean, I love the leadership that he brings to the table, the intangibles that he brings to the table. Of course, you've got that great goal scoring ability. He didn't show well at the under-18s because he was dealing with a right hip flexor and probably at some points shouldn't have been playing, but he wanted to play for his country. He wanted to gut it out, and he wanted to prove that, hey, this representing my country is extremely, extremely important to me. Playing in a good program in Owen Sound, and 30 goals in his rookie year, 46 this year, 76 goals over a 2-year span. It's nothing to sneeze at.
And Chuck, you're like this. You're a Harvard guy. Well, this is the CHL Scholastic Player of the Year, so he's got some brains too. How much do you factor that in? You want the full package. Somebody can think quickly on their toes.
Well, absolutely. It shows you he's dedicated to everything in his life. And, it's an exciting pick for Winnipeg. Last year, grabbing McGroarty and Lambert, but Birdie can score. This kid can score. Obviously, they have Connor, Buffetti, Ehlers, guys that can score, but they have a lot of skill in Winnipeg. This is good young player.
And Jason, you got a smile. You're liking this as well.
I love this. I'm telling you right now, Mark Hillier absolutely didn't expect for this kid to drop in his lap at this stage of the draft. This could be the future captain of the Winnipeg Jets, face of the franchise type of guy. That's how great his character is. He cares about his teammates. He cares about community. He leads by example. 76 goals the last couple of years in the Ontario League. Just an elite player. Really happy for Winnipeg.
Do you think character played a big role in your guys? Remember what Rick Bowness said after they were eliminated? He said 7 times no pushback. 7 times in the post-game news conference. He said, I'm disgusted, I'm disappointed. He was venting a little bit, but is this a guy who can maybe help change a little bit of whatever problems might exist there in culture?
Well, I think down the road, there's no question he's going to have a presence in the locker room in Winnipeg, and a guy who's going to be so appreciative of this opportunity that I see him being the long-term type of player for this organization. Yeah, we can't discount that, Chuck. You know, like there are certain franchises in the league that you want to draft the best player available, no questions asked, but you also want to try and forecast the fit in your community. Like, is this guy going to be a Winnipeg Jet for a long period of time? I believe he will be. I think that's the other side of this ledger that gave them a lot of confidence here in this slot.
That's what's always been a battle in Winnipeg, as we all know, and to find these guys who can come in, play well, and want to be there is really important.
And a mature young man.
No, Oliver Wood is still available.
Here at age 7.
My bad.
I thought it was a great line, actually. And give us a scouting report. What do you gentlemen have as far as Barlow as a player?
Well, this is a story for me that speaks to character. Last game of the year as a 16-year-old, he's sitting on 29 goals. The entire game, they're trying to get him the puck.
Best player available right now in the first round is Gabriel Perreault. Gabriel Perreault. Gabby.
He ends up recording 15 shots on goal. The last being the overtime winner to get to number
Hey, man.
30. Can you imagine
You never know. The Leafs can still end up with Quentin Mustier. Wouldn't that be a thing?
Stop giving me the puck. We got to win this game. That's
Who's up next?
character that this guy brings to the table.
The
That's
Chicago
why he's
Blackhawks?
and the youngest one in Owen Sound franchise history.
Yeah, draft
Chicago.
eligible players, 5th most goals.
Chicago.
And
And then we got
Barlow has a team.
the Seattle Kraken,
Colby, you've
which is
known
more
since you were
of like
that you
a.
wanted to be an NHLer one day. What is
It's more like that color, Seattle
the
Kraken.
NHL, the two Canadian teams?
Oh, it's just incredibly special. I mean, it's hard to put this into words. I mean, it's
Oh, then Minnesota's up at 21 with their first pick, or their only pick.
team. It's pretty incredible.
We're getting there. Leafs picks coming up. Getting excited.
My mom says everything, so it doesn't at all.
Wow, what is that he
They were
drew?
talking the panel about how you're the Scholastic Player of the Year, youngest captain in Owen Sound history. What kind of leader are you?
Brought snacks?
I think just lead by example. I just make sure I'm doing everything 110% on and off the ice. Just be a good person first and foremost, and it'll take you a long way.
Well, Colby, congratulations. Enjoy tonight.
Thank you so much.
David?
All right, so there it is. Colby Barlow now.
There's still a decent amount of skill left. I'm very surprised that the Leafs might get as good of a player as there are available right now. I know we're still at number 19 and they pick at 28, but the Chicago Blackhawks.
Just the emotion that they're feeling.
Okay, so my guess
They
is
didn't have a first round pick like
who?
now round one.
So everybody has a pick in every round. There's 7 rounds.
All right, let's get you down.
So every team has 7 picks every year. You can choose to trade those picks.
Is that why you took him? What did you like? Well, he's a hard-nosed player and someone that has tremendous skill, but you just love the way he plays. And if you watch the playoffs, that's the type of
Chevy.
that help you win championships.
That's Chevy.
All right, ask Craig Conway the same question. There's been a lot of talk around Winnipeg. Do you have anything hot cooking?
We just picked Colby Barlow. That's real hot.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Thank you.
Bro, you suck.
Great answer, Seth.
So you guys are going to appreciate this. If you're a young player out there, you're about to go into your draft.
Chicago
Don't
Blackhawks.
grow the full beard, okay? Colby Barlow had the full
Oliver
beard
Moore.
all year long. Why? Hey, what do you mean don't grow the full beard? Scouts look at you and they say, you know what? This
Didn't
guy
get
is
picked
maxed
first.
out in terms of his growth. Colby Barlow didn't
No.
matter to him. He had that full beard the whole
Yeah,
season
but
long. But if
they
you're
traded all their
out there,
players away, so they got picks from other people.
keep it clean shaven. That way,
Rebuilding?
scouts into thinking that maybe
Yeah, it's a full rebuild in Chicago.
A little less fanfare for Kyle Davidson and the Chicago Blackhawks. They already have Connor Bedard at number
The
1.
Chicago Blackhawks.
They take it number 19.
Connor Bedard better than Matthews?
Hagel trade.
Will he?
We'll find out.
Against Chicago on the board. They only had an 11% chance of winning the lottery. They won the lottery, and now here they are with a second first round pick.
Is this the Leafs pick? No.
Chicago.
With the 19th pick in the NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select Oliver Moore from the U.S. National Program.
What did I just say, Oliver Moore? Didn't I just say Oliver Moore? You heard me say. I heard me say, you say, you heard what I just said, Oliver
Well,
Moore.
if you want a great skater, you got one. Oliver Moore. He's considered arguably the best skater in this class.
Yeah, I'd say he'd be right up there with the best of them for sure. And they're really
Yeah, Detroit got 40, 41, 42. That's a lot of picks. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day for a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams out there with tons of picks, including Arizona. There's some teams with a crap load of picks out there. All right. Oliver Moore is off the list. I don't know why Gabe Perreault is sliding.
Do the math. Then go into the sauna. Nasal breaths, 100 of them, really difficult to do. And the last thing is diving sticks in a pool with different variations about those diving sticks, throwing them into the pool using one breath to pick them all up. Again, your mind is going 1,000 miles a minute. You want your body to slow down. And that's exactly the type of thing that I challenged them on. And the thing that
They're only televising the first round, and then tomorrow they do rounds 2 to 7.
Centering the top line of the U.S. National Team Development Program, he would have had another 25 or 30 points by the end of the season. He was in the 2-hole.
Once the last selection is made in the first round, the show's over.
Those 3 guys at the elite tournament, he scored the most amount of points against the best teams in the tournament. It says something. Speed, tenacity. He's a 2-F on projection, a play in all situation.
Chuck, how much has skating, the fact that GMs covet skating more? I know that sounds like a ridiculous question, but it's so much a bigger part. Speed is so much a bigger part of the game than it was 15 years ago. It seems where
Who's next?
was a bigger part. How much has that changed the dynamic of selecting players?
Oh, here comes Seattle with the Quentin Musty pick. Quentin Musty. We wanted him. I don't know if you knew that. Did you hear the name of the guy that the Raptors picked in the draft? His name is Grady Dick.
Committed to the University of Minnesota. Oliver Moore goes 19th to Chicago. Kyle Davidson.
You can go buy a Raptors jersey that says Dick on the back.
Oliver Moore because he'll be a teammate of Connor Bedard. That's not a bad thing at all. A lot of emotion here in Nashville. A lot of guys wanting to hug it out as their names are called. And it's been a lot of fun. But
Google his name, Grady Dick. Look at what he wore to the draft. And then he got chosen by the Raptors. Tell me how appropriate it was, what he was wearing, and who he got drafted by. Google his name. Grady, Grady Dey. Look at his picture. Look what he was wearing at the draft.
Those tips look good though.
Grady Dick.
Brady Dick.
Just Google his name and you'll see his draft picture is the first thing that pops up.
Oh, he's wearing draft.
No, say NBA draft. Just type in NBA draft.
Sports interaction.
Look what he showed up in, and then he got picked by the Raptors.
Or the mass flights.
You don't see the red sequins suit?
I saw that. Yeah.
Even his bow tie was like red sequins. And he got picked by the Raptors. How appropriate was that? He was wearing all red. Hey man, the Raptors needed shooting, and Grady Dick was the best shooter in the first round. So sometimes you just gotta choose. You gotta choose what your needs are. But yeah, Seattle Kraken up next with the pick, and I think it's gonna be Quentin Musty, guys. I'm gonna be upset about it.
11,000 in discounts. Plus, get 4.99% financing.
Stage is set. Best in tennis are coming to Toronto, and we will be there, watching closely. Because there's a silent
You know what I noticed?
in knowing that
Based on the LED lights, depending on which color you choose, some of the colors interfere with the bell box. Look. See that?
Yeah.
I think it's the frequency of the LED lights.
Just saw Oliver Morris selected to Chicago. His journey to skating excellence dates back 7-8 years ago when he first started working with skating coach Katie McDonough. He was a track star as a kid. He ran the mile in under 5 minutes in middle school. And initially, he was also trying to skate like he ran. So Katie said they completely revamped his stride and built his technique.
One thing that's going to be very interesting is tree living and Kyle Dubas have completely different drafting philosophies, as you saw in the first round with the Pittsburgh pick. He picked the smallish forward. That's not what tree living is like. So it's going to be interesting who he picks.
Seattle is on the board, and what a season for Ron Francis's Kraken, right? A 40-point improvement, guys. It's hard to have a 40-point improvement that they knock off the defending champs in the first round of the postseason. An incredible run for them, and now they're going to be picking at 20. So let's get back down onto the stage, and Ron Francis ready for the Kraken's first pick at number 20 of the draft.
Proud to select from Cometa Burial, Edward Chalet.
Oh, no way, Chalet? Chalet.
Former NHLer Robert Braun, the director of scouting.
Guys, Edward Chalet is the guy I said the Leafs were going to pick at 28. This is the guy.
And played in the World Juniors, guys.
This is who I thought the Leafs were going to take.
And his upside being selected 20th overall.
He's a guy who compares himself to Jonathan Huberdeau.
Son of a gun.
Skilled player. I think back to the World Juniors and against Canada in the final. Last 10 minutes of the third period and overtime. This guy was engaged physically. He was making plays under pressure. He was finding open guys, taking shots. What I loved about that is that I just bottled that. And you look at the rest of this year, some inconsistency, trouble getting minutes at the pro game, and you thought, if I can bottle that 10 to 15 minutes, I got a player on my hands. That's what Seattle looked at. And I think coming down the road here and getting an opportunity maybe to change his course a little bit in terms of being able to get more minutes this year, huge for his development.
Yeah, he was a tough guy to scout for me because he started the season really, really well at the Hellington Memorial last year in Red Deer. And I mean, coming out of that event, if the draft happened in September,
They took my pick, man.
Top 8 pick probably, like he was that good. It kind of played out here and there through the course of the season.
Edward Chalet.
The World Juniors, so it wasn't just offense.
Played for Brno.
At the end of the year, the other teams in Swiss, he carried a lot of the group with him, so he ended the season on a high as well. Listen, he's a crafty player, real good on the half wall. He's one of the few players in the draft that makes plays very well forehand and backhand.
This is their third first round pick.
I did not expect this kid to be picked this high. What is going on?
And now they got another first rounder here. This is the part where the meeting, it's like such a different meeting. The power position has suddenly changed, right? They're really new and ask all these questions and now it's like, all right, I need a new contract, right? That's how you thought when you went on the stage a little bit, Chuck?
Yeah,
See how tall this kid is?
Absolutely. But this is a good pick for Seattle. It's a lot of skill. I mean, this is a franchise second year in existence.
Damn it.
They get to the playoffs. Their American League team gets to Game 7 of the
This
playoffs.
is who I wanted.
And now they,
This guy wasn't that high in the mock drafts. I don't know why he went that high. I really wanted the Leafs to pick him.
Takes one step, head up, he's going to rip a puck here for a goal in the Worlds. I just, guys, like, we're seeing a lot of these goals here, a lot of these plays from inside the dots, inside the hash marks. I like that about it, okay? I like that about him. He's got that in him. He does. It's absolutely a ton of upside.
I'm very upset about this pick, guys.
Is what's required.
All right, let's get down to the floor with Jeff Merrick.
Yeah, David, just a quick note here. It looks as though, and I'm like 99.9% sure of this thing, that Chalet is going to go to the Barrie Colts. of the OHL next season. You guys
Minnesota's
talked about
coming up.
Bedard. Sounds like that's the next step for this young man. And listen, you guys know Marty Williamson. He runs a really good program. So one of the best things.
And he's coming to North America. Come on.
Potentially time for the
This
Seattle.
guy was like 27, 28 in the mock drafts, and now he gets picked that high. Damn it.
A little bit more.
The Leafs can't catch a break, man.
For retention of players over the course of the offseason here, Chuck.
I think they will a little bit, but Ron's a very patient guy. Ron Francis, they'll build this thing methodically, and again, they took a big step this year. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of shortcuts here. They have extra picks. They can trade for a couple of players, but they're going to make sure they build this out the right way.
Roster composition is fascinating to me, and I think that's something that's changed here. They are truly a four-line team. They're a checking team. You don't have that.
The Seattle Kraken are really a four-line team. They're just, they come at you.
Here, a little bit different roster composition for Seattle.
All right, Ron Francis alongside Ellie Freeman.
You know what you're saying? You're saying that's a Ron Francis pick because there's similarities to Ron Francis. Well, I mean, I've heard it. It was just Robert Brown. He's from Cheshire, so knows the kid very well. We just think he's a big skilled guy who can play the wing and play the middle, and let's get him into our organization.
You know the Czech Republic changed its name to Czechia? Yeah.
It's hard to say with these kids. I hate putting timelines on them. We'll get them into development camp next week and get a closer read on them, and then we'll see where things going to go from there.
Thanks very much, Ron.
Can you grab me
All right, so Seattle off the board.
a drink from the fridge?
They have their man, Edward Chalet. And next
One of those small cans.
Minnesota Wild.
Small can of what?
I don't know. Coke or something.
GM of Minnesota. Describe that hockey market, Chuck, because I don't know if you appreciate it for as great as it is.
It's an incredible market. It's as close as you can get to Canada in the United States. The great thing about Minnesota is you have high school hockey.
I'm afraid the
You
cage
don't
is
have to
really
move away from home to play. You can play
should've
at
put
your
the-
local
No,
high
there's
school.
nothing heavy on the table.
Get a college scholarship.
It's not pushing down.
Local base, which is great. So many of the programs now,
Why
it
is-
seems like the private programs, you have to move away.
You brought Charlie down to take him out?
Minnesota does it
Yeah,
right.
you know.
Hopefully they keep it that way.
And a little bit of pressure there as well. They haven't won a playoff series since 2015.
I can't believe Edward Chalet got picked, man. This guy was supposed to go like late 20s in the mock draft, and I wanted the Leafs to get him. Damn.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate David Coyle on an amazing career. Thank you for your friendship. Like Kyle said, being a mentor to so many young general managers out there, we appreciate everything you've done for us in the game. Also, a great thank you to City of Nashville, especially Tootsie's for keeping this entire group well hydrated and entertained.
Wow. This guy just admitted the whole team was drunk last night. Tootsie's is one of those like rock and roll.
From the University of Wisconsin, Charlie Stramel.
What? Charlie Stramel.
Go there and keeping it local because Charlie Stramel is from Rosemount, Minnesota. So they take the local kid who just played at Wisconsin.
I'd have this guy going in the first round at all.
Big rig.
That's exactly what they're getting. And looking at the season, 2 games before he left for the World Juniors, they're playing against Minnesota. He takes a suspension, and that sort of changed the tenor of his season. He ends up going to the World Juniors, and he's not relied on as a scorer, more as a penalty kill guy, a guy who can get into the forecheck, a guy who can play bottom 6 minutes.
The Philadelphia Flyers are up next.
I think he went to Wisconsin thinking that he was going to be a high-powered offensive guy. He hasn't turned into that yet. I do think that some of that is believable to him, but I think that World Junior experience was really important for his development, recognizing that playing heavy minute, utilizing that process will help him offensively. I'll be fascinated to see how this guy turns out because the numbers really have never popped at any level. I think we're still waiting on that, maybe a late bloomer type.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Oliver
projection
Bonk,
in this
maybe?
pick. There's no question. He's a big, powerful body, 6'3", 222.
There's
He's fine on straight lines.
only
This
one
guy
really
actually
good
came a long way. I have to
big
say.
right-handed
Over the course of the
defenseman
year, I was more concerned
left in the first round, and that's Oliver Bonk.
So he's going to be able to extend plays for his line mates. That's good news. He can fill penalties, get in the lane, want some shots. The offense is a question mark. We'll see where it goes.
There he is, the newest member of the Minnesota Wild. And he he is a big ring. Because look at that. He's setting aside some big gentlemen. He's actually towering over them. And we'll see. We do need a new nickname. How many big rigs are there right now in the National Hockey League? Can we come up with something else? I like the idea of calling a big guy tiny. Why don't we do that? That's old school. Yeah, that's old school. All right, so much more. We're 21 in, and it's still 11 to go. And Craig Conroy, congratulations to you. You made your first pick as the GM of the Calgary Flames. Sam Honzik, we're going to be hearing from him. My goodness, look at the consternation there. We'll hear from Sam coming up next.
Tomorrow. Your summer just got cooler with Tim's premium cold coffee drinks. Go for a handcrafted, rich and bold vanilla iced latte, or our new smooth and velvety caramel toffee cold brew, topped with espresso infused foam. That's cool. Keep it cold with Tim's cold coffee drinks all summer long.
Isn't it nice when your coffee comes with a cookie on the side?
Look at that.
You know, you'd like something more. What about streaming a podcast or watching an episode instead of downloading the app? Nice to have it, right? When something's nice to have, more people should have it. That's why you can get Rogers 5G mobile plans now as low as $55 a month and count on more on everything. They're all the way.
What she said.
I didn't watch the whole video.
July 21st.
Okay, and root beer to drink?
No.
Kidding.
Maybe get a root beer?
I'm getting frozen root beer.
Yeah, that's
Frozen A&W root beer.
Continues tomorrow.
Welcome back to Bridgestone Arena with the newest member of the Calgary Flames.
Trying to wear my
16th
brother's
overall,
pants.
Samuel Honzik. You had a little bit of time since you walked across that stage. What's been the best part?
I think the best part, I didn't have the best part, but I think at that moment when I was walking down, it was
Charlie Strammel.
I could see myself or my life just flashing through my eyes. So,
Man, I'm getting excited for this pick. Oliver Bonk is still left. Gabe Perreault is still left. Musty is still left.
One step at a
Come
time,
on,
and
Leafs.
You did it. I know your parents.
You
are
can
so
do it.
important to you. How did they take the news?
I think they were really kind. They not even hug me, so I think it's a big thing for them. And those are the ones who support me all the way to this point. And I think it's a big thank you for them.
Well, congratulations and all the best.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Carolyn. And now the Philadelphia
Guys, something that's very exciting. I meant to mention a long time ago that I didn't is one of the Leafs Russian prospects.
With the 22nd selection, Flyers are proud to select from the London Knights of the OHL, Oliver Bunk.
I just said Oliver Bonk, didn't I though? Didn't I though? I did, didn't I?
Big hugs all around.
I just said I'm excited that the Leafs could get Oliver Bonk. And then what did they pick? Just want to let you know. Guys, Dmitry Ovchnikov, who is a pretty good prospect for the Leafs, chosen in the 5th round, is leaving Russia to come to North America next year. Is going to come to camp, probably end up on the Marlies, but the fact that he's coming to North America because his contract is over is very good news. I like this kid a lot. I just said Oliver Bonk, 6'2", right-handed defenseman.
So that when he starts this season, he hits the ground running, 10 goals, 40 points. And
Damn it.
huge growth potential in
this player. Not just
Come on.
physically, but his ability to play. Next year, he'll go back to London for Dale Hunter. He'll be playing all 2 minutes.
So upset right now.
He'll be playing a full load of minutes in all kinds of situations. And I think his
What
career
is going on?
really about to take off as early as next year.
It looks like I didn't value these guys as high as some of these other guys.
He's a pro. You know, like his approach, he's a pro type of young man, similar to a lot of the guys in this first round, to be perfectly honest with you. But right shot D, he does it all. Kills penalties, second unit power play. I don't think he's going to be anything more than a secondary scorer at best at the National Hockey League level. But he's one of the more physical guys in this first round, especially in the back end.
Fifth defenseman taken. Now, can I ask you, when you know that a guy has the pedigree, has a father who played the NHL, how does that role play? Like, he's been there, he's been at rinks, he knows the game. How much do you factor that in before you select someone?
Scratching off players.
Well, it's a huge boost because you know the player's been around the game, and I'm so old. I remember scouting his dad. In 1994, we drafted Ed Jovanowski.
Yeah, safer than Michkov?
Obviously, he's been around
Yeah,
the game. He has a
probably.
good feel for it. He has somebody in his dad who he can ask questions and lean on.
Leafs pick coming up. Getting excited about it. Getting excited about it. We're at 23.
22nd overall against the
New York Rangers.
A very center-heavy draft, a very forward-heavy draft, but there are a number of great defensemen here, including Oliver Bond.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of his highlights here. So that's what I'm talking about. He bodies up. He's hard to escape. Like, he's around you. He's got an active stick. He can lean on you, and then he can still corral things. This is a great little play. Look at that. That's Chase Stillman, first-round pick to the New Jersey Devils. He pokes it off his stick. That goes end-to-end almost here. Little drop pass, sees it, zips it home. He's a little bit more than everything really well. Like, I mean, I just don't see him doing a lot of that at the NHL level. He's not going to have to. He's going to be a minute puncher in your top four. He's going to match up, kill penalties, do some heavy lifting.
Oliver Bonk. His dad is an NHLer.
Flyers, you join your dad now as an NHLer. What comparisons are there between the two of you? Not necessarily just as players, but even as we'll show you maybe with hairstyles.
Yeah, I think we both give 100% when we're out there all the time. And I think both defensive specialists, I think that's what we have in common.
What influence has he had on your career thus far?
It's been huge. I wouldn't be here without him. Every lesson I learned from him. So
NHL dad.
he's the reason why I'm
You
here.
need to know the ins and outs.
Okay. Whose hair is better? Yours? Or yours?
I'm gonna have to say him. He's got a lot more flow. He had it going for a longer time, so I'll still give it to him.
And just lastly, how do you fit into the Philadelphia Flyers DNA?
I think they're a hard-working team, and they're willing to do whatever they can to win. So I think I'm ready to do that. I think I'm ready to win.
Well, congratulations, Noel.
All right, Carol. Yes, alongside the father, Radek Bond. So your son was just saying, despite his great look for tonight, he still believes you have the better hair in the family. Was there a better way for him to honor you than going with the mullet on draft?
New York Rangers, Otto Stenberg, Calum Ritchie.
He wants a 6 salad, but you know what? I'm so happy for him. It's you know, every kid's chasing his dream, and this is one of the steps that he wanted to achieve, and good for him. A lot of work into it. Can be proud of him.
Although at this point, the safest pick is Gabe Pearl.
Process in the draft here.
Well, I was drafted 4 years ago, so you know, it was way different.
Did you see he did all the doors?
So,
All the doors.
You're going to be looking back on this for a long, long time, and
The transition for all the doors.
he's going to remember the rest of his life. So happy for him.
Congratulations to you and the whole family.
Even under the crawl space in the under the stairs.
It's a 6 salad. I love that. Listen, we've seen this before, and you heard Chuck talk about
He needed one piece. He's one piece short. It's for the
all the complexities on and off the ice.
the
There's
cold room.
Radek Bond, Oliver Bond, join these other first-round fathers and sons that we're still waiting. There's actually some more pedigree there to be chosen.
Yeah, you saw the text I sent, right? The piece that was the piece that was dropped off wasn't big enough. He wasn't able to do all the doors.
No.
Where are
New
you
York
going?
Rangers are proud to select from the U.S. under-18 team, Gabriel Perreault.
Who did they select? Oh, they picked Gabe Perreault. God damn it!
Yannick Perreault's son, Gabriel Perreault, joining his father now as an NHLer His brother Jacob was all
Yeah, it's the safest pick.
2020. Sister Lillian.
This guy broke Austin Matthews' point record at the under 18 USA team.
What we're seeing as well as her son Gabe Perreault has just been taken 23rd overall by the Rangers. This guy put up absolutely ridiculous numbers. What do you make of that?
Well, let's see. Austin Matthews? Yep. See you later. Taking over the all-time single-season mark for points in the season. Also broke the assist record. This guy is a playmaker extraordinaire. Now, you can see by his frame, he needs to add some strength, which he's already done. He needs to add some size. He's willing to put the work in, but he is so crafty and so shifty. He reminds me a little bit of Mitch Marner because he can't sleep on.
No, that's a good thing the Leafs didn't select this guy then.
When he has the puck from the offensive side of things, you better be aware because he'll find a way, a seam, or a delay, or some way to get you the puck. I love his playmaking ability.
Suit of the day so far for me, guys. I don't know. That straight suit was fantastic. But listen, this kid here, you can't sleep on him ever. Like off the puck, on the puck. When he gets it, so the good things are happening in the offensive zone. So you have to stick with him. Man-on-man coverage in the defensive zone. You better not let this guy slide off it because when he gets it, he's creating offense. He's an elite stick.
Obviously, the Rangers were surprised he was there. There's no name tag on the back of the jersey, so that could be a home run pick at 23.
Smash the like button, guys. I would appreciate it.
You guys always are generally prepared. You want to make it a special time. What do you think happened there?
I can't speak, but normally we would have 30 or 40 nameplates because you never know if you're going to trade for another first-round pick, but they were caught off guard.
Cost cuts.
Oliver Bunk, I said I liked. He just got selected. I said I like Gabe Perreault. He just got selected. Edward Solly, I said I liked. He got selected. 3 picks in a row. Andy?
Yeah.
3 picks in a row. What the hell? Let's see who's left on the board here. We're going to have to switch my picks. Who are the Leafs going to end up with, eh?
The best stories always start. We get outside.
All right. We still got Danny Nelson, and we still have Quentin Musty. And we still have David Edstrom. That's not bad.
It connects us. It takes us.
David Edstrom, Danny Nelson, Quentin Musty. Come on. We're only a few picks away. We're only a few picks away, Eddie. We're only 5 picks away. Get excited. Get the pom-poms out. It's the funniest commercial ever. Who's up? The Nashville Predators. Nashville Predators, you are on the clock.
What? Maybe a root beer?
Getting frozen root beer.
Try a frozen AEW root beer.
There's some teams that got some really good picks in this first round. I think this first round, other than, the dumb teams like the Phoenix Coyotes and stuff like that, I think there's some teams that have made some really smart decisions. 3 guys I really liked was Edward Chalet, Oliver Bunk, Gabriel Perreault. Philadelphia's got 2 good players. Seattle made a really good pick. Chicago got a couple of good players. Detroit got a couple of good players. Calgary got a couple of good players. Calgary got 1 good player.
My coach growing up, so having him is so special.
Memories of that cup win?
There's some solid picks in the first round here. I think looking forward 5-6 years. Looking forward 5-6 years, we're going to be talking about this draft.
All right, thanks, Carolyn. And again, you hear some cheers here at Bridgestone Arena. It's because the Nashville Predators.
Because the Nashville Predators are on the clock.
Made a selection earlier in this draft. Here they are from the second times so far in this first round. Matthew Wood taking it.
And
they're approaching the stage. We have a little bit of time to at least speculate on what's going to happen.
I finished the setup on the racing sim.
Yeah.
Now it's
You kind of shrug. What's going on?
now everything is completely done.
I don't know. It's hoping to be some trades. Add a little spike. It's pretty
I was
maybe Elliott or Jeff.
I was on there for like an hour today.
Haven't had a trade through the 23rd or 24th picks.
The sound is great. The picture is 4K. The one of my HDMI cables wasn't doing 4K, so I ordered these really nice ones from Amazon. They're like 15 feet long. I got to wrap it all the way around. I didn't have to pull it. Now everything is working great. Smashville. Nashville? This is Nashville.
Our captain, Roman Yossi.
The Yos.
Jerry, goaltender, Pekka Rinne.
Pekka? Pekarine? Stop it. Oh, they're back in Nashville. That's nice. They do something like that for the fans. Leaf fans don't get fuck all. Oh, he butchered his name. Did you hear that? Oh, Tanner Molendale. Okay. I'm happy with that pick. I'm happy with that pick. The Leafs don't want that guy. 5'11" left-handed defenseman. Get out of here. Listen, there are a lot of teams excited that the Coyotes exist because, you know, you got Coyotes go up there to make a draft pick. Dmitry Simashev. All of a sudden, Michkov goes to Philadelphia. Ryan Leonard goes to Washington. Detroit gets Nate Danielson. And then Dvorsky goes to the St. Louis Blues. No, listen. If somebody asks you to get on the stage and say another player's name, and it's his draft, you gotta just practice that a couple of times and get that name right, man. Come on. But Tanner Molendijk is a really easy name to say. You shouldn't have to butcher it. Matvey Meat. See, I just screwed it up. Antti. Talking about screwing up names and then I screwed up the name. Michkov. Matvey Michkov. 4 more picks. Go Leafs, go. Come on, baby. You know what? Shall we channel some positive energy? Go get Antti. Go get Matthew's stick. No one. It's in Nashville. Oh, at the draft table? I don't know. They haven't showed the draft table yet, so I don't know who's there. When it's their turn to pick, everybody comes up to the table.
Developing players. And Molendijk was a guy who was looked upon to go to the University of North Dakota. Priester met with him on several different occasions and thought, you know what, maybe this is a guy.
Poppy 34.
Coerced to come to Saskatoon, and it's worked out perfectly well.
We're gonna use this to channel the energy. Look at this. Just tell your mom to relax. Just tell her. She does this to me too. Every time I go into my office, he's knocking. He doesn't knock.
You're gonna look at him. His shoulders are still fronting the play, like he's looking up ice, although he's moving sideways. It's a really cool sequence.
All right, the new GM of the Nashville Predators.
We're gonna use Matthews' stick. We're gonna channel some positive energy. Let's go, superstar. Let's go. Yeah, it's Saturday night.
Absolutely, it's been wonderful. Our fans have been
Who can guess the flex on Matthews' stick in the chat? What do you think the number is on his flex?
It's such a deep draft. That's going to be preference. So we got our preference, and so we're really happy.
There were a lot of hot rumors today about the Predators. How hard did you try to move up?
It's a number between 60 and 100, or 100 and actually flex goes up to 110 now.
Very secure on that. And then there was such a good group of players in the next batch, so we knew we were going to get one or two of them. So we feel we have.
Thanks very much, Barry. Enjoy.
Thank you.
There's Barry Trotz. Chuck, can you speak to that? How frustrating is it? Because there was that idea and knowledge there that this was a good deep draft. No one wants to be the guy who traded away at 50 eventually becomes,
A superstar.
Yeah, but again, you don't see teams trading back all that often, unless you're trading for a player like Ottawa did last year. Break it, but you don't often see teams trading back, especially in a great draft.
Close.
Scout is.
Any more guesses? We'll give it a few more minutes, and then I'll tell you what the number is.
And that's what we've seen happen. Again, we haven't seen anybody move up or move down, never mind trade for a player. So
a little bit inactive, a little surprising.
Yeah, but maybe it speaks to the quality of this draft. I think we're going to look back in a few years. I'm not sure if it's 2003, but it might be as good as 2015. So this is a good draft.
St. Louis Blues.
On the board isn't there? St. Louis makes their way to the podium for a second time.
Yeah.
Oh, Shane comes in with a very, very precise number.
That's why we haven't seen the type of movement we expect.
I'm gonna tell you that it's between 80 and 90, the number. Shane threw a dart and it almost landed.
To select Otto Stenberg for Lander Sweet.
Otto Stenberg. Okay. I'm happy.
All right, at 10, they took Valley Dvorsky.
Oh, Joshua. Pull the price is right. $1.
The season when JP and I were out in Red Deer watching him at the Lincoln, we were impressed with his ability to play a solid two-way game. Now, there was times that there were ebbs and flows throughout the season when going back to Sweden, but again,
It's 85.
at the end of the year, absolutely brilliant.
85.
16 points there, left everyone with a real good taste in their mouth afterwards. I think you're looking at a two-way guy who might provide a little bit more offense down the road than maybe would be expected than what we saw at the start of the year.
Captain of the U18 team in Sweden. This guy's a bulldog as well. Ryan Leonard, he gets after it in all three zones, and he's aggressive with the puck. He rips pucks from all over the offensive zone, and he's first on the puck more often than not. This is an outstanding pick. I'm taking a look at what the Blues are doing here with Dvorsky in the middle, now Stenberg in the middle. You can see the trajectory of the franchise with these two players.
Guys, I don't know if you know, 85 flex, how hard, I know you guys have all seen the pictures and the slow-mos of their shots and their wrist shots and how the stick whips back. Do you know how hard it is to bend this? I weigh 200 pounds on the butt. I'm 5'10", 200 pounds. And I go to the gym and stuff. I can't bend this. I don't know if you guys know. Check this out. Right here.
When at the start of the year, I don't know if we projected this.
I can't put any flex in this. There's no flex in this stick. I don't know how these guys get the stick to bend the way that it does. How much strength and power you need. It's unreal, 85 flex. And now imagine that. And Zdeno Chara had 100 flex.
No, give us a little bit more of a scouting report here on what we can expect, because it's not going to be probably on the Blues next year, but certainly in a couple of years we can expect to see him on the blue and white.
That little handle there, he knocked the puck down in the middle of the ice. It was like a lob through the middle, corralled it. This play here, watch this real closely.
he's smart enough on the zone entry to recognize he's going to be challenged. He creates space with his reach, goes across the seam. That little play when he had the puck way out made him hard to defend there. That was a really little slip play. Back over one time.
All right.
Listen, he's got an elite release. So I can't understate it. I keep saying it. That's just what he does.
And he has 2 chickens this year as well, which we're not showing there. Let's get you down to the floor with Jeff there.
You know what? There may not be a better team, DA, in the NHL and doing rebuilds on the fly than the St. Louis Blues. You look at what happened last year. Didn't make the playoffs. Ryan O'Reilly got traded to Toronto. Vladimir Tarasenko goes to the New York Rangers. Ivan Barbashev goes to the Vegas Golden Knights. In return, they get a player by the name of Zach Dean from Canada. Had a wonderful year in the QMJHL. But if you look at all the forwards, and we've just seen 2 more forwards now drafted by the St. Louis Blues in Stenberg and Dvorsky. You have Jimmy Stuggerud from the University of Michigan. You have Jake Neighbors, who's about this close to making the NHL as well. You have Joel Holford, the netminder, who this year will be the backup in the St. Louis Blues organization. Doug Armstrong, really smartly and really quietly, has repopulated the pipeline for the St. Louis Blues. And today's another couple of chapters in this rebuilding for the Blues.
Yeah, with that, they're going to have a 3rd first-round pick coming up. And last time they had 3 first-round picks was 2007. Lars Eller, Ian Cole, David Perron. So some pretty good NHL careers. That's pretty good with those 3 players. So St. Louis, again, they'll be back up the board soon. But next up, it is the San Jose Sharks, who you have to recall about 2.5 hours ago to Will Smith, 4th overall.
San Jose Sharks.
Info from his son. Tell him that thing, baby. Here we are in San Jose at 26, and this is courtesy of the Timo Meier trade with New Jersey that they picked up this draft selection. By the way, it's worth noting Timo Meier an 8-year deal, so it's working out maybe for both clubs here. Here's the futures for San Jose. Thoughts on this pick, and are there some big names? Anyone you can describe as a big name who's yet to be taken?
Well, the Sharks are in a situation where Mike Mears had full control of the draft from the start of the year on. You remember he came in at the end of the year last year, so while his
number 34
would have been on some of it, definitely has full control of it this year.
All right, let's get back to the Carol.
Who did they pick?
With Otto, the news member, the St. Louis Blues, you got to play with Drew Quist in his final season.
These guys are sitting in their chairs like it isn't their pick. Hurry the hell up, man. Get the hell up and walk to the fucking podium.
Hi, Otto. This is Joe Longquist. Big congrats to draft team today. It was really fun playing together in Finlanda. Now I'm really looking forward to follow your career moving on here. Best of luck. Keep going the way you do.
What influence does he have in your career?
Thank you so much, first of all. I mean, has always been a really big player in Frölunda, and I've looked up to him my whole life. I think
that was a weird
he was
message.
the first player I learned the name of in Frölunda in the A-team. So, I mean, it's really fun to play with him the last season, and yeah, to just see how we are as a person. And
with the 26th pick, the Sharks are proud to select from the Sudbury Wolves, Quentin Musty.
Very familiar to a lot of people, certainly out in Ontario, played for the Sudbury Wolves, selected 1st overall in the 2021 OHL.
Hi, Sarah.
And here he is, the dream coming to fruition.
Joshua in his Leafs t-shirt, Leaf hat. Get in your Leafs gear. Let's channel some positive energy on this next pick. I can't believe we lost Quentin Musty. Damn it.
That sticks out about him. Analytics people will really like the fact 50 even strength primary points. So a guy who wasn't just collecting points in the power play, but a big factor in what a lot of what Sudbury's offense had to accomplish this year. Derek McKenzie came in November as the head coach, replaced Craig Duncanson. From that
2 picks away from the Leafs pick, and Quentin Musty is gone, people.
To be more physical, to increase better awareness in his play away from the puck, and to pay attention more defensively. As a result of that process, he ends up with those 64 points in 44 games. But the even strength primary points, something analytics people look at, he was one of the best in this draft class with 50 of them. Yeah, I mean, look at him, guys. He's a big body. He's got fantastic hands. I'm with you, Sammy. Like the back half of the season, I really appreciate the detail. His effort on and off.
Come on, man. What are the chances we lost this guy 2 picks before ours?
How to track back and be more active in the defensive zone. Use your size to get in all these little tangibles.
Colorado's next.
Ted did a great job. And Matt is now coach here at Bruno Nashville starting next stretch.
and his walk-up song was Flashing Lights, and he's over to light the red light quite a bit out in San Jose. He's not even 18 yet. I mean, he's a big physical specimen, 6'2", over 200 pounds, and he turns 18 in 8 days. So,
112 points.
Tricky violent, but this is bizarre to me. It's like
That's what happens.
what's happening here?
He's a big boy.
That's money.
So there it is, San Jose with 2 first-round picks. They missed the playoffs the last 4 years, so trying to turn things around in Northern California. Meanwhile, we've had 4 Canadian teams already making
But I really don't know what the alternative is. That's what happens when you finish with 112 points. What do you want to win? The Leafs not to win games? Not to make the playoffs? Come on. A ring-a-ding-ding.
Today's ring ding ding. Pow, Uber one.
You Fox is talking about me?
Nah, it's just Uber one stuff.
Bring it in.
Ring a ding ding, please.
Think it's safe, guys. When the Martins booked their Virgo vacation home, they really weren't looking for much. A pack of grass for Bruno, a pool for first timers, and time with each other. And when they needed support, someone was right there. Because what's unique about a Virgo is you can reach a real person in about a minute.
Chasing us.
Is coming after you. He's fighting so-called greater.
The Leafs pick is coming up. The Leafs still got good cupboards. Roni Hirvonen. We Fraser Minton, Matthew Nyes, Nick Robertson. Guys, the Leafs cupboard is not bare by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know if you guys know about this goalie. His name is Hildenby. He put up some crazy numbers this year in Europe.
Comes down to those 2 minutes.
How come you're not getting shut down?
Why would I get shut down? If something is playing in the background and you provide original content, then it's original content. If I were to just show the draft and reproduce it and not talk over it at all or create any sort of original content,
Canada Day, NHL offseason kicks off July 1st. Sportsnet Hockey Insiders are going to break down all the latest on Hockey Central.
When's free agency?
Season Saturday 11.
Next,
Click on Sportsnet and Sportsnet now. We are
signing season January 11th. July 11th, I believe.
At 27, they're going to be selecting. And Sam, you say there's still some.
Come on, Leafs.
Yeah, no question.
Make a good one. Make a good one, Leafs. The Jays won. That's fantastic.
Really good puck mover, same as Greg.
That's really good.
Offensive defenseman Gavin Brindley. I know he's JB's one of your
Better
favorites.
plug in my
He's
phone.
a shooter and height, a point producer. So we'll see what happens here moving forward with the Colorado Avalanche. You were getting into the game a little later.
They're entering the stage. And,
These guys are one before the Leafs. If they pick the guy I want, they better not. Well, Quentin Musty's already gone. So.
It's going to be a changing of the guard a little bit in Colorado.
Joel Sakic.
3 RFAs, so going to look very different than that championship team from a year ago. Let's hear what they have to do.
Friggin' Joel Sakic.
Again, their first pick here with Chris McFarland, Joe Sakic, and the game.
Colorado Avalanche are proud to select from Oshawa, Callum Ritchie.
Oh, not any of the players I wanted. Nice. Callum Ritchie.
This is a nice story. This is a tough kid. He played with a torn labrum basically the entire year. And out of the Oshawa Generals, Callum Ritchie now has an NHL home with the Colorado Avalanche. The second overall pick in the OHL draft.
Topi Niemela. You know, I have a signed puck from Topi Niemela in his draft year, right? From his draft year, right? Topi Niemela, Roni Hirvonen, Fraser Minton, Nick Robertson, Matthew Nyes, Dennis Hildenby, who is a goaltender. Dmitry Ovechkinov, the guy who's coming over this year from Russia. The Leafs cupboard is not bare. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Hey, he just produces offense, and he's big. He's real big. Nice to see him.
Leafs are up next.
We saw him at Buffalo at the combine. That's come off here. I know his buddy Nick Vardis expects to go here in the first round, if not early on day number 2. They're teasing him with some golf.
The Leafs select from the Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid.
While he has good height, he's still playing at a decent weight. He's got a lot of room to put strength onto that frame. What's he going to look like moving forward here?
Gabriel Perro.
Is he going to play at? How much taller is he going to get? There's a lot of projections still left in this player. He was first on my list of still available, and here we go. We come out of the commercial break, and Colorado takes.
His brother Ethan is a D-man with the Kingston Frontenac, so again, we see a lot of that. Siblings playing, siblings both getting drafted in many cases as well, so hockey runs deep in many families, and moms and teachers kind of like this. He's learned his game both in the classroom and on the ice.
You know, I think at the start of the year, you could have safely projected that this guy was going to be a top 10 pick going back to his 16-year-old year. Then you watch him at the
Callum Ritchie.
Again, put up points. You didn't really notice it until you looked at the box score again. The ability to transport the puck and go up top. Work
He just did something bad.
Now it's Ritchie working on the strong side. Little curl and drag. Everybody's doing it these days. Goes to the short side. Again, here working on the power play. I'll just take it to the dot and let it go top shelf. Good screen helping him out there, but still have to find that accuracy.
The Leafs are on the clock. Let's make it blue.
That's inspiration, never hurts.
That's the part I really like, that they look up to these future great players. And,
I think they've chosen already.
No, when they choose it, they say the pick is in. Well, they're probably debating because it's late in the first round. So. We're picking based on need. Do you need left wingers? Do you need right wingers? Do you need centers? We need right-handed defensemen. We need left. Well, we need defensemen, and we need. Actually, no. I think I should just go for a left or right winger.
You only go through draft here once, and I thought I grew my game a lot over the season, and I'm glad I'm here. And to be drafted in Colorado, that's unbelievable.
Congratulations. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
Kyle?
Well, Carolyn, this is not the first time Callum Ritchie has been at
Come on, Leafs.
Have they shown the table yet?
Not yet, but they will right now. The Leafs are about to choose. They're on the clock. Minute 30 seconds. What do you mean, for my sake, I hope it's not one of them? What do you mean? What? That's our new GM, Brad Tree-Living. He looks like Al Bundy. Tell me he doesn't look like Al Bundy, though.
Ready to make his first selection as the GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
This is Dubas. They just asked.
You know, he's into a pressure. He left a pressure cooker.
He made a stupid trade today.
Dubas?
Any expectations as the Leafs are about to take
For Pittsburgh.
Nice to see him on the floor because from everything that I said in this press conference yesterday, said he couldn't walk down on the floor.
The picked in, boys.
Calgary picked at 16, so he's able to.
Let's see what we got. Let's see what's going on.
Get into a seat and get comfortable. Now the opportunity to get something done here.
Oh, for my sake, you hope it's one of them. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. My bad, Nick. Don't worry about it. We're on the. We're good. We're simpatico.
Right, again, this is part of the Washington.
Let's see who you pick.
For Joshua in the UK, it's 3:13 in the morning. These are like the guys who go watch the kids. The scouts.
They traded some picks last
Whose
couple
kid is
years.
that?
Yeah, so here we go.
He's wearing
Maple Leafs on the board. Brad Tree-Living and the rest of the management.
Because it's a 23 draft.
Entertainment, ready to make the Leafs selection at number 28.
Shane Doan is there. That's Matthews' idol. The third guy. Who's making the pick? Brad Tree-Living?
Just wanted to thank
What up,
you
Roger?
for some great hospitality. Thank Billy Garrett for the open bar bill at Tootsie's all week.
Everybody goes to Tootsie's.
Congratulate and thank David Boyle. He's been a mentor to many of us, and congratulations on a great career. To make our selection, I'll call up our head scout, Wes Clark.
Head scout Wes Clark. See it?
Toronto selects from the London Knights, Easton Cowan.
What? Give me my phone for a sec.
Cowan is the latest member of the Toronto Maple Leafs, another London Knight goes in the draft.
Well, look where he's sitting, guys. That tells you everything you need to know. You'd have to search around to find this guy because it's unexpected that he goes here. But a deep dive will tell you that this guy is a gritty, tenacious player. His playoffs, I think, really sealed the deal for him. 21 points in 20 games. I had a chance to stop him at the combine.
Well, he's an off-the-board pick.
This guy was locked into doing his work there. So he gave me a couple of good answers. But again, we talked about Oliver Bond, London Knights, playing in Junior B. Easton Cowan followed that same path. But while he was playing Junior B, practicing with the London Knights, and that playoff year, that grit, that tenacity,
Because he didn't expect to get picked in the first round.
he did so at over a point per game pace in the playoffs. A guy I know, JB, you're familiar with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This guy was an absolute rise for the second half. There's a little bit of a coincidence in it here, isn't it? Like Mark Hunter's London Knights and the Toronto Maple Leafs. But what you look for out of this guy, trust. You trust his process. You trust his game. He goes to all the hard areas. He plays fast. He scores from the middle of the ice. Dale Hunter just absolutely elevated his minutes down the stretch.
You picked him for a reason.
Who's familiar with the way the London Knights process
Because he plays for the London Knights. He plays in our backyard, so we got to watch him
he was
a
a
lot.
player at the hardest time of year. He earned it. This is a little bit outside the box, but good on the Leafs, and this is the guy that was the best available on their list.
Mount Bridges, Ontario. If you need more
Haley
information,
Wickenheiser.
5'10", 170, obviously some room to grow.
Sheldon Keefe.
He's an 18-year-old.
Oh, you see Kelvin Sheep.
Right now.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, I got to cut the stream here. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is not. Easton Cowan is not who I expected the Leafs to take at this point. He is a winger.
When he first started playing for the London Knights, he was a trustworthy guy. Defense, penalty kill, and as he started to do those things, his minutes went up and he was given more high leverage situations. So the exact same thing for this guy. I mean, he is a really greasy player. I love that about him.
And these are only picks, right? You've seen pretty notable 28 overall big scoring Gary, Justin Williams, Mike Richter. Chuck, is that the difference between the Stanley Cup caliber team and other teams? The fact that you can get those diamonds in the rough, maybe where unexpected.
Oh, absolutely. You look at Washington Capitals. Years that they've been thinking in the 20s.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. What's going on? 5 feet 10, 170 pounds.
Dave Morrison is living right there in the area as well. He's living on Grand Bend area. And don't discount the impact Mo had on this.
Join back for free agency. We're going to catch everybody. Apparently, this guy is kind of greasy. He's a decent player, but not who I really wanted. So we'll see who Easton Cowan turns into. But I expected a bigger player from Brad Tree Living. Again, I really appreciate you guys tuning in.
So it's pretty special, and especially the Leafs there. So yeah, it's really exciting, and it's a moment I'll never forget.
In terms of how talks went with Toronto, was it something you were expecting?
Yeah, obviously, I felt like my talks at the combine with them went really good, and I thought they liked me. So like I said, a moment I'll never forget.
Mount Bridges, Ontario, just outside of London. What does it mean to wear that sweater?
Yeah, it means a lot, and I'm playing for my hometown there in London as well. So it means a lot. I'm really very thankful to have my family here with me today and a bunch of friends. So yeah, I just want to thank everyone that supports me, and obviously I'm excited to be a Leaf.
And we hear the panel with the scouting report on you, but what type of player are the Leafs getting?
Yeah, I think I'm a very hardworking 200-foot player, and I love to win, and I think I lead well on and off the ice. So I'm very excited to get down there in Toronto and I guess show them off.
Well, congratulations. David?
I think it's fair to say.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in free agency, July 11th, I believe. Have a good night, everybody.